Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shawty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Yeah. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. I'm talking about vibe with the blue. Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down, but it's loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly. Worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, leg guy propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Pass what up? Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer the lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd without fear. Got the homie Carter Presents with me. Welcome to episode 178 of the Blerd Cave, #1 comic book news stream in this or any other Earth in the multiverse.
Can we go ahead and give a shout out to former head of Walt Disney, Thomas Washington? I want to give a big shout out to him. Rest in peace, man. Brilliant brother, brilliant animator. Probably made one of the blackest Walt Disney animated films of all time. I want to give a round of applause to Thomas Washington.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's take it a step further. Let's we're gonna drop the bomb for him. Oh my god. Anyway, by the way, everyone, you are keeping up with the Blerd Cave, which, by the way, you can find everywhere, not just here on YouTube. You can also find it on Google, Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else good content can be found. So make sure if you're one of the peoples, one of the Earth's mightiest, you just don't have time to sit on the YouTubes. If you just want to, or maybe you want to listen in your car but not burn up your data, go check us out on Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. I believe link is in the description, or you can just search the Blerd Cave. It's easy to find. You'll see a thumbnail with our big ass faces on it. Anyway, Carter, we got a lot to talk about. Got too much. I feel too much to talk about, and y'all can already see right now. We are gonna be kicking it off with some Quantumania discussion. But before we do so, I do want to give shout out to the homie Xtriv with the 27 months. Says, peace and blessings, peeps. So amped for this movie. Hey, spoiler alert, I am as well. Spoiler alert for everything we're about to talk about. I'm very hype. I actually spent a lot of time poring over this trailer. And it's gonna be this is gonna be something. So Carter, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. Let's just put it out here on Front Street right now. This trailer that we have, this teaser trailer rather that we've gotten for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, that'll be coming out on February 17th of 2023, in the year of our Lord of the Rings. That trailer is actually missing some things from the San Diego Comic-Con trailer.
It's missing being fucking sideways, where you got to crank your neck to look at that trailer.
Looks like somebody trying to hide from Marvel Studios. What's that thing you always see? I don't know if they showed in theaters in Cali, but when they show like the dude slouched down in his seat trying to pirate the movie.
So
did they ever show that at the theater in Cali?
So at the theaters here, it's the yellow M&M trying to do it with the red M&M trying to slap his hand to stop him from doing it. And then
they used to show that. We used to get that one. And now I'm thinking about it. We used to get that one.
It's that one, and it's popcorn with a face telling you not to do it. And it's popcorn with a face with Maria Menounos telling you not to do it.
Oh Lord. You want to see something real ugly? Carter? Look at this shit.
What's that?
Look at this shit. Motherfucker got the whole camera in the theater. got the whole camera in the theater.
First off, if you're going to fake the funk to try to tell people not to do that, all that camera is looking at is the three motherfuckers in front of him. The camera ain't aimed nowhere at a movie screen.
For those that'll be listening on this on Spotify, we're showing an image of a guy he got an actual camcorder wrapped up in a flannel.
Oh shit! I gotta make Discord bigger. I didn't see the flannel.
Yeah, look at he got the flannel. Bruh. Look, he got the 2003 junk.
Oh my god.
Bruh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Can I think we have to give you a round of applause for a little
What?
bit though, because I was almost that dude. Because what you all don't know is before last week's cave, when we were talking about Black Adam, for all intents and purposes, I did hit Ernie out and was like, "Hey yo, do we need footage or anything for Black Adam? Because I'm going to see it Thursday."
Bruh.
And he just had to be, no, Carter, no, we don't need it. There's footage all online. We good. I mean, because I did it with Doctor Strange. I know, Carter, we don't need the footage. This motherfucker here. That's the whole text conversation. So we gotta give Ernie a round of applause for trying to get me not to go to jail.
Man, I'm trying. Look, this man about to get permabanned from the movie theater.
So the funniest part of you told me not to do it. We was good, but that initial scene of Black Adam beating the brakes off them dudes in the cave is right here.
This man. Wait, the movie had been out a little bit, so I'll go and say it. Did you at least get the part where he put the bomb in dude's mouth?
No.
Ooh, because that shit was so nasty. It was so nasty. Because that dude literally just sitting here, he had all the time in the world to think about that shit being in his mouth.
Do they even make cameras that big anymore for you to record?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They do.
Because I just found out about this whole renaissance with Polaroids.
Mm-hmm.
Those motherfuckers are like I have a couple of friends who are actual like photographers and stuff like that. So I know they make those kind of cameras. But like the big boy, you didn't see how big that fucking camera was. That dude trying to record something. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. No. What was it? I'm trying to remember what's the name of the damn. Oh, here. I think I found it. A camera that. There's a camera. There's a Canon camera that I want to get. I can't justify. The price tag on that hoe right now.
Yeah. So,
but it's a camera that I have long wanted.
Is it like a DX5 something?
So it's a XA11.
Oh,
okay. It's a Canon. Here, I'll show the motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
All the reason I asked is because one of my photographer homeboys.
That John right there.
Oh, that's too fucking big. That is.
Oh no, this is a production level camera. This is production level camera. This is what the double I think this is what the double toasted boys got.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that's what we were using for the Extra Life streams with Nerd 901. Because Jose used to be able to get them for us, but yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, here it is. Here, I just saw what LJ said in here. Said with the 2 pounds, says the blackest movie ever, a Goofy movie. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. It's not wrong. Which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it later if we got time. But I want to keep us. I want to keep us on message. Today. So for those who don't know yet, we are going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. We'll also be talking about the James Gunn situation over at DC. We'll also be talking about the Green Lantern HBO Max series, Vision, potentially getting his own Disney Plus series, as well as Image Comics Deep Cut.
The way you said that, it kind of confused me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were talking about the new Green Lantern series, Vision. I was like, wait, huh?
Oh, no. No.
The way my mind just got scrambled just then when you said
my God.
Wait, what?
No. We're not gonna do them like that. But let's go ahead. Let's go. We're gonna, for those who may have not seen the trailer, we're gonna do a little quick recap of le trailer. And And yeah, and then we'll go through. We'll give our breaky down of said trailer, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Let's see. Do I have everything? Yep. Here we go. We are actually here. Ooh, don't do it that way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I forgot. I never resized this window. You know what? Let's just do it this way.
This is the
Bam!
Oh, okay.
Bam!
Okay.
Let's go. Here, let's see.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense.
This man is a full employee of the century.
Tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
I'd have thrown that coffee at him.
That's why we made this. Like a satellite for deep space, but quanta.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Now.
I've never understood it for the life of me.
What?
This is yet again white people just doing shit they ain't got no business. Like, like I don't understand white people's just intrinsic nature of I just got to do something I ain't got no business doing. Like when is that with y'all?
I will go and say right now, somebody, like, you'd have thought somebody would have stopped her.
Like, Catwoman just told you, nah, cut that off. You ain't got no business doing that. And now y'all got sucked into the shadow realm.
It's a secret universe.
It's all kind of Last of Us algae all around there. Michelle Pfeiffer heard and got nappy. Like, see, this is another white people ain't got no business doing this stuff. Why do y'all do this? I called 3 white people I know after I watched this teaser trailer and just saying, why do y'all do that shit? They didn't even know what I was talking about. Why do y'all do this?
Look at Bill Murray. Man, look, they got Peter Venkman in here.
And give you more time. If you help me.
Bruh, the pull up.
So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
I'm telling you. So, Ernie sent me the thumbnail for the Spotify show, which I'm actually going to ask if we can change, just because of something I said earlier.
What you got? What you got?
I just think because of, I'll tell you after the show.
This man, oh Lord, this fool.
Well, I just think just because he was just recently on television, and a lot more people know about this brilliant man. There was a certain image, there was a certain shot of Thomas Washington I think we should make the podcast thumbnail this week. But just that scene of Jonathan Majors when he was talking to Ant-Man, does he not look sad to you all when you watch that teaser? Go back and watch that teaser again. I was telling Ernie before the show started, but just like, if you just freeze frame it, it looks like he's almost in tears. Like Kang the Conqueror is actually sad. Because he knows he still has that Creed 3 body under that suit, and he know he finna break Ant-Man off. So, like he just looks sad because he know the hands he is about to lay on Paul Rudd.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, you know the Nino Brown meme.
Oh, bro. Oh man.
Yeah. What was with old boy like, come on, man. Am I my brother's keeper?
Something
he
I
like,
never
yes, I am.
Something I never noticed about this scene, if you go back and watch that scene, you hear the gunshot sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
You hear G Money go, ugh, and he just fall backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But in the scene, he was supposed to have been shot in the head.
I actually noticed that last night. Somehow that scene crept across my timeline.
Yeah.
And 'cause I think I was watching like a What Culture video, and for whatever reason they played it. But like, yeah, I was looking, I was like, yeah, the gun's supposed to be his head, but he clearly gets shot in the chest.
He don't get clearly shot nowhere because you don't see no muzzle flash or nothing. You hear it. You hear the bang. Ooh. And
Look,
then
man.
he's supposed to be, his head snapped back like he got shot in the head. You don't see no flash. You don't see no blood. I never noticed that. I hate high definition movies because it shows you how bootleg some of the movies you used to watch back in the day. That's why I hate Blu-rays.
Well,
Lord.
have you noticed how like they do this thing now with a lot of movies where like they show how like HD is made to where you notice mistakes. Like what was it?
Yes.
Buffy, when they tried to take Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, not the movie, and they up-resed it and put it in widescreen format for DVD Blu-ray.
Yeah.
What they didn't take into consideration was that you could see the crew a lot of times in the shots. Because the movie, not the movie, but the TV show wasn't made to be seen in widescreen like that. Not like in 4K or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta, And not to mention, you also, if you ever go back and watch Lord of the Rings in 4K, and you can actually see it in normal HD too, but it's easier to spot in 4K. There's scenes where you can see, like, I think there's a scene where, like, when they're going up the mountain Caradhras or whatever, and Frodo falls down in the snow. There's a scene, if you look just in the right spot, you can see where the Hobbit prosthetic leg stops. Like under his pants, because like his pants come up a little bit, and you can see a clear line where like you can see it's a like the Hobbit feet, it's a boot that he's wearing, and you can see where it stops and where his skin begins. It's crazy, but anyway.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, let's
get back into this. We got way off. Anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is going to be the first outing of Cassie Lang as a member of the squad. Now, for those, I didn't think about this at the time, but so basically, for those who haven't been keeping up, if you haven't really been keeping up with the Ant-Man movies, there have been two different actresses up to this point and before this movie that have played her. And I think, what was it? I want to make sure that I don't have my wires crossed or anything like that, but I want to say it was in the first two movies. It was Abby Ryder, who's a child actor, who played the younger Cassie Lang, right here. And then by the time you get to, I believe it's by the time you get to Avengers Endgame, that's when you get Emma Furman. Emma Furman's one, so that's why you get her in that one. But now we're getting yet another actress, and I don't remember the reason why they recast her, because it's not a significant amount of time between Endgame and what's going on here, at least not enough to warrant a recasting. But in this one, we are going to be getting actress Catherine Newton. Some of you may remember her. She's largely known for what was it? Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and what was that movie she came out with not too long ago? I think it's called Freaky. That's
her.
Yeah, that's her.
With Vince Vaughn. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's her. So that's what most people know her for.
Shit, it is her. Okay.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. So she's playing Cassie Lang, aka Stature, who, as you would imagine, being the daughter of the Scott Lang version of Ant-Man, her power is probably pretty obvious. She can shrink and grow. I think under normal circumstances, she tends to focus on growth over shrinking, but she can shrink just as easily as she can grow.
Did you know, fun fact about
Mhm.
Freaky, but we're keeping it Disney.
Okay.
If you don't know what Freaky is, Freaky was a horror movie that came out not too long ago with that young lady and Vince Vaughn, where Vince Vaughn is a serial killer and they swap bodies. Do you know the original name of that movie?
What was it supposed to be?
The original name for that movie, until Disney stepped in and said, "Get your ass back, bruh." The original name of that movie was Freaky Friday the 13th.
You know what? Honestly, I can see it. This is what he's talking about right here. It's an awesome movie. It's awesome. I love the movie. But I could see why Disney would have came in and been like, I'm gonna need y'all to back up off that. We gotta protect them IPs, pimp. This is why certain things never happen, is because you gotta protect the IP. But no, so the thing to take away here is, of course, this movie, we've got pretty much all your major players that you can expect. We got of course, the incomparable Paul Rudd back playing Scott Lang, looking happy as hell, living the life of Riley. This guy's got it going on. And to kind of put a finer point on it, you've also got to recognize why he is happy, because not only is he walking around seeing kids with backpacks with him on it, with Ant-Man. He's got kids, they got backpacks, they got lunch boxes. This man has also finally gotten one over on Baskin Robbins. Baskin Robbins is actually putting genuine respect on. Look, even look at the girl right here in the background. Even she impressed. She's like, damn, I'd let him hit. Baskin Robbins fucking with him like this. You remember, Carter, man? Baskin Robbins always finds out. You can't lie to Baskin Robbins.
When's the last time you've been to Baskin Robbins?
2 weeks ago.
No shit.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Vanilla milkshake with caramel syrup.
What is with you vanilla people?
I like vanilla. I like strawberry too.
Experiment. Jesus Christ. Well, I've never understood.
I like black walnut and butter pecan. Leave me alone.
I've just never understood the just straight vanilla or the Neapolitan. Those goddamn masochists, those Neapolitan motherfuckers.
I mean,
y'all just, man, open your minds up.
Nah, I'm good. I like what I like. Anyway, but no, Ant-Man's living up. This man's going, look, we even see here, we got Evangeline Lilly back as Hope Van Dyne here with him. This man's going to movie premieres, man. Look at that. Look at him. Look, everybody, they want pictures. They're like, oh, man, look at him. Look at him. Ain't they just great? Ain't they just great? These are the heroes. These are Earth's mightiest heroes right here. So we also see the return of Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, looking very confused.
Big Wall Street.
Right? Look, hey, honestly, I'm not going to lie to y'all. To show my age, I still remember that motherfucker from the War of the Roses where that dude got squeezed between the cheeks and almost died. When his wife was having sex with him, and she tried to squeeze, she literally took the legs and squeezed them around his waist and tried to suffocate him to death. Literally, like, she wasn't like, ooh, dog, because it's good. She was legit trying to kill him.
You know, I have never actually watched that movie in its entirety.
The War of the Roses?
I have only seen the ending. And it confused the hell out of me that y'all are so angry at each other. Y'all are arguing. Now, this is how my head remembers. I could be completely wrong, and you can correct me.
Okay.
Weren't they arguing on top of a fucking chandelier?
Yes, they were. They were arguing on top of a chandelier. And spoilers for a movie that came out like in 1989, but yeah, it's everything you thought it was. It was Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas, and the mess up part is they actually started out like it's funny. You ever remember those pictures where they say how it started and how it's where it started, how it's going? It's like it started like this, where they were really happy with each other. And then it got to this where they're like, ooh, I can't stand your ass. Like, ever since I saw that movie, it messed my head up for relationships.
See, because I remember they were, now keep in mind, y'all, when I say they were arguing on top of a chandelier, the chandelier was fucking hanging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was hanging.
It was in their house. They were arguing on the chandelier. They fall to their death.
They sent the kids to the grandparents, and they were trying to kill each other.
And the one thing that stuck with me for so long was that Michael Douglas, he tries to put his hand on his wife's shoulder because it took the motherfuckers falling to their death for him to realize, damn, this shouldn't have got to this point.
Yeah, y'all should have just gave the divorce. You should have just gave the divorce and been done with it. They were both too stubborn.
The reason the ending stuck with me so much was for two reasons. One, because he put his hand on his shoulder. She went to grab his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then pushed it off and died like that.
Yeah, because it looked like they were actually about to like make up, and she was like, "Man, get your ass
make up in death,"
off
and
me,
she was
and
still
died.
like, "Get." And then Danny DeVito popped up for some reason. So I'm like, where did this motherfucker come from?
Well, no, so that was their lawyer. He was a mute. So Danny DeVito in the movie, he's a mutual friend of both characters, and he's technically trying to stay out of it. So, because they're both trying to use him against the other. But yeah, anyway, moving along, getting back to box office masterpiece, falling down actor Michael Douglas.
This is why we are always three fucking hours.
Exactly. We go off on tangents.
We go,
and I'm trying to keep us on brand here. But anyway, we also got Michelle Pfeiffer, who looks very upset. She is very upset.
Mad at her as soon as she realized what that child had done. Because
look at her face. She's like right there. That's the face a white woman makes when she has already decided she is about to call the manager. She has made up her mind. She is asking for the manager right here.
If I know damn well was a face, is the face Michelle Pfeiffer just made in that trailer.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, yeah, go ahead.
My thing is, why would you even want to make something like that if there is a woman standing in that room that was trapped there for Lord knows how long in her time, and you think I'm gonna be like them, and I'm gonna build something that was probably a very traumatic experience for my grandma, but no, I'm white. So I got to do something I ain't got no business.
Oh no, because I'm gonna tell you, the face she made, I can't believe I actually caught this the way I did. This face right here says it all. Because when OG Wasp, Janet Van Dyne is like, "Excuse me," and Cassie give her the look like, "I had to do it for the talk."
Jesus Christ.
She had to do it for the TikTok, for the gram. Duh.
Yeah, that face just reads, I know what I'm doing. I'm 20.
Like,
that's
look,
what that face is. Right?
She's like, look, you old. You don't get it, Grandma. You don't understand, Grandma. But no, there's a reason why Janet Van Dyne does not I mean, obviously, she was trapped in the quantum realm for 5 ever. But I just want to point out something. There's a couple of shots I picked up. Because when they do, the device goes off.
Mm-hmm.
The device goes off, of course, and you kind of go back to these shots right here with Cassie. Yeah, she's like, everybody's getting sucked back into the quantum realm. We see everybody go in pretty much. Cassie gets thrown in. Scott gets thrown in, and it's just like, man, look, it is what it is. It's happening. We just gotta we have to accept that we are not in Kansas anymore. Like this,
you go back to that other shot with Ant-Man real quick.
Look,
that's Paul Feig trying to pull him into another Ghostbusters movie.
He's like, no, you don't. Hey, look, keep that evil off me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. But look, look, why do they make that dude hot Rick Moranis in the new Ghostbusters? That's the only question I had. But anyway, also that father-son Kamehameha that happened at the end of the movie just had me rolling. Anyway, Spoilers for Ghostbusters Afterlife, anyway. You'll know if you see it. But no, so they've gone back into the quantum realm. But here's the thing I want to point out here, Carter. The quantum realm in this trailer looks very different. I won't say very different. At least in this shot, it looks kind of similar to what we had seen before. But as we go through the trailer, we start seeing a world that I'm not even sure we're in the quantum realm anymore, but I mean, we very likely are. But like, we start seeing a vast society. Like, we're seeing like entire cities, like crazy. Like look at this. And also, somebody pointed out to me. Shout out to War Chant Ricky in the Nerd 901 Discord. He was actually one to point this out to me. Apparently, these are the exact same ships from Stargate SG-1.
Yeah, somebody else said that. I started laughing.
I was hollering. I was like, oh Lord. And I was like, now motherfuckers gonna be trying to say that the Stargate SG-1 is in the Marvel Comics universe. Get the fuck out of here. But no. So, but there's a shot right here, and I made sure to get these shots because Janet is not happy. She was trapped in the quantum realm for a long time, and when she gets down there, you can see like she pulled a move that had me holler. I don't know if you caught this card. You catch this right here. So you see she right here. She's like, all right, we got to go back in this bitch.
Hey, wait. Let me just say, can you go back to that?
Yeah.
Please. Michelle Pfeiffer look good as hell right there.
Look.
Michelle Pfeiffer look fine as hell with that look on her face. Oh my god.
Look, that woman, look, and here, and I'm about to fuck all this up for you, Carter, because look, when she do this, the first thing I thought of was she started pulling the hood up.
What's that?
She saw Kang cross street. She saw Kang cross street.
Listen,
and look, she said, let me, you know, like you ever had a white woman walk by you on the street, she crossed the street and started clutching her purse? That was the MCU equivalent right there.
Ernie, that's every morning. What are we talking about?
look, meanwhile, Evangeline Lilly, she's sitting here like, we don't do that anymore. She's like, we don't do that anymore.
Michelle Pfeiffer look good as hell. There is no changing any kind of opinion on that. Michelle Pfeiffer look good as hell right there. What lies beneath? You hear me?
Look. I can tell you what lies beneath. Goddammit.
Oh, she just got knocked off in that shot. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh no, dude. Kang just caught a body. Kang just caught a body.
Done caught her in betwixt. Something she ain't got no business.
Look. Hank Pym is starting to understand how Reed Richards feels when Namor pull up.
Man, but yeah, that look on her face, like. I'm not gonna lie to you, but like that little menacing look on her face, it looked like it was her saying like, "This bitch just brought me back in here." That's what that looked like to me.
So, yeah, no, 100%.
Brought me back in here.
100%.
And I think that's why, with you saying you don't think it's the same place, I think it is, because I think the thing that we have to remember here is
we didn't see all of it.
Well, we didn't see all of it, and look how much time passed when she was there.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, time passed for her normally. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think with just the amount of time that's passed when she was there, and with the movies that have come out, and no telling how much time, could you see how much time has passed in the MCU, and ain't no telling how much time then passed down there.
Well, another thing I'm thinking too, and this, I might be crazy for saying this, but I'm gonna say it because it may just happen. So, for those of you who watched the Loki, series, season 1, there was a character that popped up in that. A character in the comics, she's known as Ravonna Renslayer. She was played by Gugu Mbatha Raw. For those who, that's her name. Her name is Gugu Mbatha Raw. this woman right here.
Oh, that's slow.
Yeah, so for those who are not familiar, she played a character by the name of Ravonna Renslayer. Now, in the comics, Ravonna Renslayer is a white woman. And this version of Ravonna Renslayer kind of seemed very different from the one we got in the comics. Now, having said that, it's heavily implied that Janet has some history with Kang. Like, she doesn't say it explicitly, and honestly, I also wouldn't be shocked if maybe she found out that we going down here. Oh my God, this dude was a whole problem. But one of the things that Kang, the Conqueror, is known for is his love for Ravonna Renslayer. And what I started imagining could have potentially been happening here. What if, and I just want to put this out here, I'm not saying, I don't normally deal in sensationalism. I just want to put that out there. I normally do not deal in sensationalism. But I would not be shocked or surprised if we got into this movie and found out Michelle Pfeiffer was a whole Ravonna Renslayer for Kang.
Oh wow.
And like, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if we got to this movie and discovered the reason why she is terrified of crossing paths with Kang the Conqueror in this movie isn't because I was trapped down here so much as, oh my God, I'm about to get found out. I was trapped down here. I got lonely. Hank, you wasn't there. I have needs, Hank. I got needs. But no, I think I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if that was something that would maybe potentially come to pass. But
I think that could get eyes on the Ant-Man stuff, because I know that there are a few people that there are still several out there that aren't really checking for Ant-Man movies.
Yeah.
Or just Ant-Man stories, comics in general. So to have that facet to where maybe Michelle Pfeiffer's character was doing dirt when she was there, that'd be something interesting, because I think would keep asses in seats and keep you more invested in the story. That would be interesting. That'd be really interesting.
And I mean, like I said, I'm not saying it is something that's gonna happen, but it would, because we don't really, because that's another thing. I don't remember if the relationship between He Who Remains and Ravonna Renslayer in Loki season 1 was ever explicitly made clear, and I would not be shocked. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm just saying if it happens, I won't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if we come to find out that the Ravonna Renslayer we see in Loki season 1 and 2 turned out to be like a child between Janet and Kang. I wouldn't be shocked. It would explain some things, especially Ravonna Renslayer's attitude towards the end of that series, and we won't know for a while. We won't know till the movie comes out, because if I'm not mistaken, Loki season 2 is not dropping until after this, most likely. I think they're still in the middle of filming, as far as I'm aware. But one thing I can definitely say, this movie, the scope and scale of this movie is going to be huge. Because not only are we going to actually see, once again, we're going to see Cassie, she's got her own super suit, everything. She is ready to roll as far as, being a hero goes. But we already know this Negro about to show up. Kang is gonna be a whole problem, and I want to share something with y'all real quick. I want to share something with y'all real quick. There's something that I noticed from the trailer, a shot that I noticed straight out of the comics, straight out of the comics. This right here, when they show him coming down on that hover disc, and he got the hands up, I was like, bruh.
So right here, when I saw that shot in the trailer, I couldn't tell does that almost look like his face is on like a TV screen? Because that don't look like he's wearing a mask.
Okay, so what I think it is, because we don't really get to see a whole lot of Kang with the mask on.
Yeah.
But what I think it is, it's just like a shield.
Okay.
I think it's like a holographic, like not a holographic, but like a hard light shield, which is kind of the case in the comics, technically, depending on who's writing it at the time. But But yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. Like I like it. It also kind of reminds me of some of the stuff we saw early on when it was first announced that that Kang was gonna be or that Jonathan Majors rather was gonna be playing Kang the Conqueror. I believe it was Spider Monkey is an artist online if you keep up.
Because I think that was the only shot where I was like, okay, that doesn't look finished. Because it looks like they're trying to do the mask, but then at the same time, it looked like they just kind of copy and pasted Jonathan Major's face on it because his face is like really too big on that thing. It looks very bootleg, so it looked like it's not done yet. Maybe that's why they showed it real quick and then just went back to pretty Jonathan Major. So. Well, that was the one. Yeah. That was the one shot. I was just like,
Well, I think too. Like I said, the CG. And once again, I think I've said this a million. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Yeah. Usually, when we see trailers, the CG is rarely ever finished. It's part of the reason why we didn't get the trailer as early as people who went to see it, who went to Comic-Con and saw it, rather. Yeah. I didn't really find a problem with it. If anything, I think it was just so yet another thing to keep in mind. When we watch these things on YouTube, it doesn't matter how good the quality is, YouTube always downgrades. So, like, even though, like, I actually took this image in, like, the highest quality you could potentially get off of YouTube, if you zoom it in, this is what it's gonna look like. Which for me, I don't have a problem with it. Didn't really bother me. I feel like it's just one of those things where I just accepted it. Oh yeah, he just has a little like a little light shield that comes over his face, and I was like, that's cool. That works for me. And you see in another shot, it's also kind of very quick. You don't really get to see it like as much. But like here, I'll zoom in a little bit, just enough so we can kind of get a little bit of an idea. But as you can see, yeah, it almost kind of reminds me of like the classic, like you ever watch like stuff from like sci-fi from the 40s, 50s, like kind of War of the World type stuff. It kind of reminded me of like that, like or what was that movie, Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow, that kind of vibe. It kind of reminded me like that's like the look. Like I don't think it's like so much his face being projected. I think it's just something's covering his face and there's like a blur over it a little bit. But it's hard to say at this point. But beyond all of that, I mentioned earlier, we got the homie Bill Murray, Peter Venkman, y'all, in the movie.
Was not expecting that at all.
This I knew. I knew because this was announced during the Comic-Con stuff. Okay. But what's going to catch a lot of people off guard is who he is playing. He's not playing like a lot of people are like, ooh, is he supposed to be like technically, we've already seen both the Collector and the Grandmaster, so don't expect it to be him. They're like, oh, is he supposed to be like the Beyonder, or is he supposed to be like was it the Stranger or anybody like that?
Garfield got trapped in the quantum realm and turned into that. I'm the man, bruh.
You are.
Oh my god.
I mean, you couldn't be more wrong if you tried.
Before he died in Zombieland, the motherfucker ended up in the quantum realm.
Okay, anyway. No, he's playing a character who has only ever appeared once in the entire history of Marvel Comics. A guy whose grand opening was his grand closing. No. You're wrong imprint. That's DC. It was in Incredible Hulk number 156 back in 1972. This guy is playing a character by the name of Krylar, who is actually the one depicted right here on the right. Just a random character, and kind of came and went. If I'm not mistaken, he died in this very issue.
Bro, don't have Bill Murray on there just to get man. Don't do that.
Just get got.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. He died This man, he turned his camera off, Lord. Anyway. But no, his grand opening was his grand closing, which is...
Could you imagine?
Bruh, we want you to come in. Well, but here's the thing, though. So, I think we've already seen a good example of how this can be done correctly with Moon Knight. So, for a lot of people who might be like Carter, who are probably scratching their head, wondering,
memory, please.
I shall. So we remember Moon Knight, right? Moon Knight, we got introduced to the villainous Arthur Harrow.
Okay.
Who was played by Ethan Hawke, obviously, but remember how when we were watching that show, one of the first things I told you was his character only appeared once.
Okay, now I'm remembering.
Okay. So
okay.
yeah, this is they took a character who literally only appeared one time in a comic early in Moon Knight's publication history, and they figured out a way to turn a whole story on this guy. Now, I'm not saying they're doing the same thing with Bill Murray, because obviously he is not a major part of this. I don't think he will be. But I do think that his character will probably be nothing like what he was in the comic. At least not directly. I don't think. I would be shocked if this Krylar had any major resemblances to anything.
I just don't want another Zombieland situation. Don't have Bill Murray come here just to get clapped for the lulz, bruh.
I thought it was hilarious.
No. It was hilarious, but... Don't just have him just come here just to get got again.
Yeah.
Like, just have him show up, let it be a funny thing, and then keep it moving. Kind of like Jeff Goldblum.
That's fair. I'll you know what? I will give you that one. So there's more to talk about, though. I will say, as far as what the plot of this is, we know that Ant-Man is being sought out by Kang to help him with something. We don't really know what it is, but we do know that Kang does at some point bring up that if he helps him, he can give him more time. Like, that's something that does come up in the trailer. He says, I can give you more time. So something is occurring in this movie that would behoove Ant-Man to make this face. Like, because you can look at it right now, he's considering it. Like, he's thinking, like, not only is he shocked and surprised, but he's seriously considering what Kang is offering him. Like, we don't know what it is, though. There's no telling what it is. So we'll have to just wait and see as far as that goes. I don't even really have an idea of what it is that Kang could possibly want from Ant-Man. There's not really anything I think Scott could give him that he could possibly want. But Kang seems to believe it. Kang seems to believe that he needs Ant-Man for something. And what that ultimately will be, who's to say? It could be, hey man, I need your mother-in-law's number. She dodging me. That might be what that could be what it is. I'm joking when I say that. But another thing that people have been talking about too, and I don't know if you noticed this too, Carter, but a lot of people have been making some very strong comparisons, Carter. I don't know if you've been keeping up. You remember Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings?
I do.
So something came up with that movie, which were the titular 10 rings. The 10 rings that were alien technology. And now there are people out there saying that a lot of the technology that Kang seems to have at his disposal in the quantum realm bears a striking resemblance.
Oh, wow.
To the 10 rings. I kind of dismissed this at first because I was like, nah, I was like that's
a big reach.
Yeah, I was like, that's a huge reach. But when you look at some of the tech that he has on display, a lot of it does kind of have similar, like, iconography. Not so much the ships, but definitely whatever the hell this is. And they also, you kind of go back to, in the trailer, they kind of moved in a very similar fashion to how the Ten Rings operated. So once again, it kind of blows the whole Fin Fang Foom theory out of the water, because that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, Fin Fang Foom is what they're talking about. But considering some of the other information we got recently, that Daniel Destin Cretton is going to be taking over the Kang Dynasty movie, I'm almost willing to go with it because he directed Shang-Chi. And there might be some correlation. I'm not saying that necessarily means that's going to be the case, but it wouldn't surprise me if that were absolutely positively the case. One of the other things that has also come up, Carter, and I don't know if you've been keeping up with this, and it's funny because we were literally talking about this, brother, not that long ago.
So before you ask that, let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Because I see someone in chat
Mm-hmm.
saying it's just reusing assets.
Mm-hmm.
Since you did say earlier that
Mhm.
somebody else noticed it, and then you noticed that those ships are the exact same ships from Stargate.
Mm-hmm. And they're not the
Could
exact
this
same,
be-
but they do look like them.
Okay, got it.
They're not the exact same
Okay.
ships. They look
Okay.
like them. I mean,
Gotcha.
you know, to be fair, Marvel reuses assets all the time.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that's the case with these.
Okay.
I don't think that's the case with these. Well, because for one, they're not that close in look. They look similar, but they're not like exact one for one. But going back to the whole assets thing, if you go back and watch, I know you've never actually seen this, but if you actually go back and watch Captain Marvel, when Captain Marvel's doing her flight through space and fucking up all those Kree ships, if you actually go back and look, they actually reused the skeleton and animation for Iron Man. Iron Man does the same trick. Now, some have said maybe that's where Iron Man got the idea from to do that flight pattern. But, I mean, honestly, it's the exact same thing. It was probably just saying, hey, take this, use this, put it here, and it'll be fine.
Don't you hate when you do that? Because it really shows you that you watch way too much shit when you can notice reuse assets from other things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no,
'Cause
it upsets me.
I never noticed it until do you remember that original Hitman movie with who's the old boy that was from Justified that was in Boba Fett? Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? When you said that, I was like, you know, if you just would have said Justified, I'd have been like Timothy Oliphant. But when you said that was in Boba Fett, and I was like, I had to think about it. No, but go ahead.
But the reason I bring that up is because if you watch that original movie, and I'm not saying a lot of you have to, but look it up on YouTube. Just the beginning of that film, you see Agent 47 and a bunch of other kids before they grew up, when they all had the barcodes on the back of their necks and what have you, and they're running in the snow and they're jumping over fences and things like that. I sat there and I watched that movie. And that exact scene, I mean, it was one for one, carried from one and brought to another one.
Mm-hmm.
Was from the Jessica Alba show, Dark Angel.
I believe it. Yeah.
When they showed her character when she was younger with the other kids escaping from the bad people or whatever the fuck, they legit lifted that exact scene. And I'm not talking about they used different people or what have you. No,
it was
they
the
just
actual
went
scene.
and grabbed
Yeah.
the DVD, grabbed
put the
that
scene
thing,
in.
and put it at the beginning of this movie with the Hitman theme over it. Go back and watch this shit. So it's just reuse assets, like you're saying. They have done it before. You just brought up one with Captain Marvel. So that would be wild if that was the case.
That was also why I knew that wasn't Tom Cruise, and I also knew it wasn't Superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Madness, because it was the same. They used the same assets for the Maria Rambeau version of Captain Marvel in that movie to showcase her power that Carol uses in the Captain Marvel movies. I was like, it's the same effect. It's the exact same effect. So why would Superior Iron Man have that? But no, I will say this though, I think the reason why I'm trained to notice those things is because of Power Rangers. Because Power Rangers used footage from another TV show from Japan. All of them did up to a point. And what and eventually they just started getting the costumes and then recreating those shots. But originally, you see the same shots over and over and over. I can't tell you how many times I would see Trini turn around and do the huh, and then jump in the air, come down, do a couple of punches and kicks, do the sweep kick, get up, and then do another pose. They use that shot like, I think, 30 times early on in that show. And they did it for a lot of the other stuff too. They reuse the same... That's once again, I've said this before, it's why the Green Ranger had to be written off the show, because they ran out of stock footage to use to supplement him being there. And it's also why, I don't know if you ever noticed this, Carter. I don't know if you ever peeped this out. Have you ever noticed, yeah, you could always tell that the Green Ranger, whether or not it was stock footage versus them actually having the legitimate costume. Have you ever noticed how you could tell the difference?
I was never able to tell the difference because it wasn't until a few years ago I realized that it was two different shows.
Okay, so whenever you would see Tommy, and this is usually was for like promotional photos, and forgive me, this is going to be a kind of ugly looking picture. Look at the quality of the dragon shield he has on right there.
Yeah.
Looks budget as fuck, don't it? Look budget, don't it? Okay, so now that you've seen that, look at this version. It looks sturdier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't look as bootleg, do it? Where you actually kind of, where you see him like, bam. Look how you can actually see it's a sturdier quality of a costume versus this right here was more shiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got to remember, because like I said, up until a few years ago, I didn't know what the hell a Super Sentai was, and I did not know that the fight scenes were from that show, and Power Rangers was. I didn't know those were completely different animals. But we're doing the tangent thing again. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Moving along.
All we were talking about was reuse assets, and we did it again.
Yeah. But I'm going to keep us back on track because there's something I want to talk about with this that has been revealed.
Yes.
William Jackson Harper has been announced as being attached to this movie. For those who know what I'm talking about. Chidi from The Good Place. He's also been in Midsommar. He was the one black dude in Midsommar. I love that movie. Anyway. But here's the thing. No one knows who he is supposed to be playing. And, more importantly, his role has been referred to as a closely guarded secret. Like, they do not want it getting out who he is playing. And it has led a lot of people. And I've seen people do the mock-ups. They are already out there online, Carter. I am sure you have seen them as well.
I have.
A lot of people are already saying he is going to be the Reed Richards of the main Marvel. And I just want to point this out because I saw somebody do one of the ugliest. This is one of the ugliest Photoshop jobs I think I've ever seen in my life, Carter. Carter, are you sitting down? You're sitting down, aren't you? Yeah, you're sitting down.
You're looking at me, yeah.
Look at this. Y'all can't see it. Someone literally just took this brother's head and just cut it out and pasted it on John Krasinski body.
I almost ended this call. So let me sound like a hater for a minute. I'm gonna sound like, oh my god. Let me sound like a hater for a minute. When I heard that this dude was gonna be in the MCU, he was gonna be in it for some reason.
Yeah.
Again, allow me to be a hater for a second. First words out my mouth were, please don't let this ugly ass dude be somebody's love interest. No, you can't make me believe it. That dude ugly as hell. I'm sorry.
God damn.
He is. I'm sorry. You couldn't make me believe that him and Kristen Bell were supposed to be a thing in a good place. You're not gonna make me believe that him and Cassie finna get down with the get down. You can't make me believe that he done pulled Sue Storm. No, bruh. I'm sorry. I just have to be a hater for a second because him being Reed Richards, if y'all don't go back and grab Jim real quick, he ain't doing nothing. The paper company shut down, dog. Go back there and go get John Krasinski, dog.
Oh, wait. Dunder Mifflin is gone?
It's gone. It was gone after Steve Carell left and he didn't want to be a 40-year-old virgin anymore. Go back there and go get Jim, dog. I don't want to see this ugly ass dude in my fantastic four, bro. I don't.
I think there is some credence that could be given to the fact that he could be potentially playing Reed Richards, the Earth 616 version of Reed Richards, because it is, once again, it's been largely left obvious that not every variant of a character in the MCU will look the same as one from another reality. Case in point, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's from different Earths. They look different. Clearly, as we saw, the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire versions of Spider-Man existed in the same multiverse as the Tom Holland one, and they do not look anything alike each other other than them being white dudes. And
let him be the ultimate Reed then. Let him be the maker so he can have a mask on. They ain't gotta look at him.
Man, this dude is mean as
Again,
hell.
allow me to be a hater for a second. That's why I started everything.
Look, I'm gonna start calling you Pit Bull. I'm sorry. I'm the biggest hater. Woo. This one, look, I can see Carter right now coming up to myself as I sip from my cup that I know someone has spit in.
Every time that bar comes up with Patrice O'Neal, I bark every time. Dude,
I'm the biggest hater. Look.
Boss ho, like I do that.
Yeah. Oh god damn! But no, I mean, is he going to be playing Reed Richards? I don't know. Here's what I will say, and let's go based off the comics here.
Okay.
So Kang in the MCU is a black man. Yeah, okay, we got that. That check. Ching. Or here, I'll do it like this. There you go. We also know that in the comics, Kang is said to be descended from someone that is very likely Reed Richards, like far in the future. That is.
I hope they keep that.
Yeah.
Because I cannot wait to see the rage if they do.
I mean, look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Nathan. So for those that don't know, for those who are unfamiliar, there are a couple of different versions.
It doesn't matter if it was comics accurate with Blerd Without Fear. This is the movies.
No. But here's the thing. There are two different versions of Nathaniel Richards out there in the world. One of them being Reed's dad. We know Reed's father is Nathaniel Richards. That's not.
Yes,
that is not up for debate. It is a very well regarded fact. His father is named Nathaniel Richards, but and matter of fact, here just for simplicity's sake, let's just do this. Nathaniel Richards, right there. But we also know that in the comics, Kang is also Nathaniel Richards. What if, instead of being Reed Richards, and I know I'm doing the most here, I know I always like to talk about Occam's razor, that the solution that has the least amount of moving parts is usually the one that is the most correct. However, what if, and I'm only saying this just because of how we have the setup for Kang, if Kang is Nathaniel Richards, and if they decide to go with the backstory that he could potentially be the son of a Reed Richards from the future, or even a Nathaniel Richards, because Nathaniel Richards was out here clapping cheeks left and right, and all over space and time. If Kang is black, it leads to reason that Reed, or at the very least Nathaniel Richards, is black. I'm just putting that out there. So while he could be playing Reed, he could just as easily be playing the other Nathaniel Richards, the Earth 616 Nathaniel Richards. I could see either one of those things being true. That said, he could be playing Blue Marvel for all I fucking know.
You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop right there.
I'm just saying.
And Jose in the chat almost got banned.
I'm just saying though. I mean, here's the thing though. If we get to this movie and it comes out that that's the case, it is what it is.
They make him Blue Marvel or like this disgusting Jose Shut up. If they make him Blue Marvel or the Sentry, Jose, I will fight you in the fucking street. Just for speaking that into the universe.
I just want to point out something though. Just to show the track record though. Remember a couple of like 2-3 weeks ago when you were saying that ain't no way Harrison Ford's in the MCU as Thunderbolt Ross. He ain't gonna do that shit. And then a week later, Harrison Ford is officially confirmed in the MCU.
Yeah, and I was wrong about that, but I said it from a standpoint of I don't see him. What's the way to say this and people not get me wrong? Acting in the sense of I don't think we're gonna see Harrison Ford doing Red Hulk fight scenes and shit like that, because that's what a lot of people keep doing is keep just putting his face like that nasty Fantastic Four one with this brother and with Reed Richards. A lot of people keep putting him in red, swole. No, you ain't. Harrison Ford ain't doing that. You can't.
I mean, he'll.
But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. That's cool.
Well, I mean,
Blue Marvel.
I mean, you never know. You never know. I mean, Carter, you got to understand something, man. You got to understand something, man. You're not understanding the big picture here. I need you to understand.
Yes, Jose B. Prime, not you, the other Jose. I'm sorry. I'm looking in the chat right now.
Harrison Ford is something of a Hulk himself.
Yeah, I gotta stop there.
I'm just saying. I'm something of a Hulk myself. But no, I will say, I like the trailer. It's whimsical. The whole Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I was not expecting to ever hear that song in a Marvel movie trailer. But it definitely kind of puts some whimsy on this that kind of leads me to believe this is like a Lost in Oz vibe. And a lot of times the songs they use in the trailers are very indicative of the tone of the movie. Case in point, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. First teaser we got, what song was in it? No Woman, No Cry. It wasn't the original Bob Marley and the Wailers version, but I mean it was a redo of it. But that song kind of gave you the tone for what this is going to be. And I feel like this is doing the same. I feel like this song is kind of giving us a little bit of the vibe of where we could potentially be going with this. So I think it's going to be, this movie is going to be one of those things where, you know, to see the quantum realm in this new light, it's one of those deals where, you know, they're in this world in a way they've never been in it before, at least for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they're going to be seeing this world in a much more dangerous way than what we have ever seen it before ourselves. So I'm interested. I'm like, I was already interested in the movie to begin with, just based off the strength of Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Just on that alone, I was already in. But what did you think about this? What did you think about this?
I'm honestly wondering how many people. I'm wondering how many people would want to watch this. And when I say that, I mean, the first two Ant-Man movies were light. And when I say light, I mean, they were just fun family deals. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I wonder how many people would want to. I wonder if like the people that like the first two are possibly getting alienated because this one seems like it's going to be a lot more serious. And that's not to say that there probably won't be some light, fun family stuff in that film, but at the same time, I'm just wondering if people really want a serious Ant-Man movie.
Carter,
just because.
Oh, go ahead. Continue.
No, I was just gonna say just because when people see Paul Rudd, they don't see a lot of serious stuff, even though because a majority of the stuff that he's done, it's serious, but it's still a comedy on the back end. So I'm wondering how many people would be willing to accept that, okay, we've done this for 2 films. Now we want you to allow us to tell a more serious story. It's still going to be the stuff that you love, but let us do this and see how you respond to it, because there are going to be I think we all know right now there are several people that are just stuck in the mud and they want their shit a certain way and they don't want anything to change.
Well, let's just shut that down right now, because I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, folks are gonna go see this movie. You want to know why I say that? First one made over $500 million worldwide. Second one made over $600 million worldwide. It's a Marvel movie. Folks are gonna go see it, no matter how much they bitch, moan, cry, whine, and yell at the sky, Carter. They gonna go see it. This ain't a DC movie, Carter. This ain't you thinking about DC.
What do you mean?
Folks will check out on a DC movie. It's a Marvel movie. No matter how much motherfuckers talk shit, they gonna go see it, and they gonna go see it twice, most likely. Don't even start that. Anyway, let's move on, because we already over an hour just on this alone.
Holy shit, we are.
That's why I was looking at you funny when you just kept going on and on and on. I was like, we already know. Folks don't even start that. Are folks gonna go see this? That's a Marvel movie.
No, I know folks are gonna see it, but I'm just saying they're not gonna be as receptive.
Carter, let me tell you something. You know how many people said they weren't gonna go see Captain Marvel? Movie still made over $1 billion. Moving on. Anyway, Jiggernaut, thank you for that Blerd Club Gold Pimp, because we still got super chats and shit to get through. John Harris, the Black Bone, with 24 months. Appreciate you. What up, Ernie Carter? Best show on YouTube. I'm talking about. That's in the tagline now. What I'm talking about. Nick D with the $10 says, when you see Kang walking toward Ant-Man talking to him for a split second, you can see his mask reflecting off the floor. So I do in fact think it's an energy shield type mask. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like kind of like a hard light energy shield something, which I think is cool. I like that idea. I think also we didn't really bring it up, but the lines being like scars in his face, I think that part's cool too. It's a little different, but I can rock with it. I'm curious to know the story behind it.
So you're cool with this mask as opposed to Hawkman's?
What do you mean?
Well, you know how you and I both were saying, like, the Hawkman mask don't work in live action. Kang joint, though, you vibing with. Energy shield is interesting. I didn't think about an energy shield.
Yeah, it's energy shield. I thought that's what we said.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, when I was looking at it,
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why I wouldn't. I mean, it's sci-fi, dude. I don't think that hard about that shit. I said Hawkman's didn't work because the CG on the mask was bad when they were using CG for it. This is not the same thing. Chi-Town Dan, the Night Skin King, with the $5 super chat says, I think that Janet murked this Kang's version of Ravonna, and she got a big receipt on her books. That is also a very true possibility.
That would be dope.
I would not be against that, because that is
That's
something.
That's why she put the hood on.
Yeah, she's like, man. Look, she's like, I got bodies. She's like, I got bodies out here in these streets.
Man, she got $50 million double dollars on her head right now.
And Kang has come to collect. But no, let's got LJ Brown with the £5 says, do you think Tom Washington would approve this movie? Rip to the goof that sat by the door. God, y'all ain't shit. Y'all really ain't shit. But I love y'all for it, because it's the best part about. It's the best part about doing this. Y'all are the best. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. So let's move on to our next thing, 'cause this is also big news. Big news. The biggest of newses, technically. Carter, you and I have both talked about this online, I know for a fact. However, it hasn't really been discussed here on the show. James Gunn, co-head of DC Studios. They did a rebrand. Jonathan Moda, my guy. God damn. Look, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just hit this right now, because put some respect on this. John Moda coming through with the $100 says it's a Marvel movie, they will go see it twice. Best to you all, man, and you're not wrong. You are not wrong, pimp. This is what people gonna do. Like I said earlier, Captain Marvel had a whole hate campaign behind it. Made over $1 billion. Black Panther 1 had a whole ethnicity of folks mad at a whole other ethnicity of folks just because they got a movie about them. And what happened? Over $1 billion. So, yes.
That's
they gonna
the
get
most
their money.
PC way I've ever heard.
What? I mean, I'm sorry.
No, that was...
Look, the
that
mayonnaise...
was a really smart way to say that.
Yeah.
That was a very smart way to say that.
The mayonnaise delegation, they was mad. And guess what? We still got a billion. Here, let me pull up the box. I'm on Box Office Mojo right now. Hold on. Box Office Mojo for Black Panther 2018 box office masterpiece, Black Panther.
That was a really nice... I'm trying not to get my shit demonetized way of saying that. Like,
Look, they gonna hit me
when you say that. That
oh
was
yeah.
dope. That
Oh
was
no, they'll
dope.
just hit me with limited ads. They'll hit me with limited ads. That's what they'll do. But no, 1.3 here. No, fuck that. Here, right here. Look at this. Right here. Bam. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this right here. Look at that. $1,347,973.10. Get the fuck up on out of here.
Jiggernaut, the Blue Plate Mafia was mad. Who the fuck is the Blue Plate?
Yes. Look, look. Hellman's gang. Hellman's gang was tight.
Goodness. The Blue Plate Mafia. That's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new one
No,
for
they
me.
was out here. They was out here, dude. They was mad. They was big mad. And guess
Okay.
what? We still got $1 billion on Black Panther. But getting back to it.
All right, getting back to the new DC top dog.
So basically, they've rebranded the studio. It is now DC Studios, which
Crazy
I
it took
find
that long to
interesting. Well, I find it funny because DC Studios very close to Marvel Studios, but hey, I'm not gonna say too much about it. But no, I also find it funny too that they rebranded the DCEU. Now, let's also be clear here. The DCEU was never actually officially the DCEU. It was actually just something fans called the DC movie universe, and DC just kind of said, okay. But the thing is, the DCEU has a negative connotation next to it. So a part of this deal, on top of James Gunn now being the co-head of DC Studios now, and once again, I want to reiterate, he's not the sole player here. He is the co-head of DC Studios, and to put a finer point on it, he is co-head with oh god, what's this gentleman's name? I believe is something Saffron. But neither here nor there. Point of the matter is, he's not gonna be the sole guy, calling the shots. Now, this is after Walter Hamada's exit, and Walter Hamada was hated for a lot of reasons, loved for very few. But one of the main things people did not like Walter Hamada for, because he was considered, I think he was named as the money man, the enabler behind Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, so on and so forth, and the ostracization of Ray Fisher in the DC movie universe, whatever. But point of the matter is that James Gunn will be both. James Gunn and Saffron are going to be both co-CEOs and co-chairs of DC Studios. They still answer to David Zaslav. They still answer to David Zaslav in all things. However, they don't have too many other people above them beyond that. And for those who are sitting here, go ahead.
You think this good? I saw a lot of people say that this was like Zaslav trying to get people on his side. Do you think people are gonna kind of give him a break a little bit with this announcement?
No, because if he's still canceling shit left and right that people want to see, then no one's gonna care.
Because let me stop people right the fuck now. Okay. James Gunn is co-CEO of DC Studios. Now I'm gonna let you go right back to it. But this is the one thing I saw online, and I know several people watch us, so I'm gonna go ahead and dead this right now. James Gunn ain't bringing Batgirl back.
No, oh no, hell no, it's gone.
I saw
it's deleted.
so many people
it's
say
deleted.
that.
It's deleted. They literally said they had a funeral for the movie where they watched it and then deleted the movie off their servers immediately after. Now, it's not to say that some watchdog hacker group couldn't have came in and picked it up, but here's the thing. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Get that shit out your head right now. The other thing I'm going to tell you to get out your head right now is that there's beef between Kevin Feige and James Gunn. Get that out your head, because James Gunn said it himself. The first person he told that he was offered the job was Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige gave him his blessing. And I also want to point out something. In that same breath that he told him, he also had to tell him he has an exclusivity clause in his contract. So James Gunn can no longer make movies for Marvel. Period. Guardians 3 and the Guardians Holiday Special, that's it. That's the last James Gunn anything that we will see ever in the MCU. Also, I would dare say that you will very likely be seeing a lot more Peacemaker, because apparently the second person he told about this was John Cena. His words. That's straight from James Gunn.
This reminds me of when Tom King had just finished Vision, and then it was immediately announced that he was going to DC exclusively.
Yep. Same
That's
for
what this
Bendis.
reminds me of.
Same for Bendis. Bendis was in the middle of some stuff in Marvel and was like, "Nope, I'm off to DC." It's the same. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure James Gunn's known about this for a while. Like, I'm talking about, like, as far as the talks. I'm sure talks have been happening for a while. So this wasn't like some big out-of-nowhere surprise. James is known for at least a couple of months that this was the case. He just couldn't talk about it because they had to wait till it was announced. But that said, and all the people talking about, I bet Kevin Feige's mad that he fired James Gunn. Here's the thing. Kevin Feige didn't fire James Gunn.
He did not.
Disney fired him. Not only that, but when James Gunn went to go work for DC, when he got the offer to direct the Suicide Squad, Kevin Feige told him to do it.
This is why when that question was asked to us on Twitter, I said, no, why would he be? He's not going to be mad at James Gunn.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be kind of tight at the people who cut him loose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, Kevin Feige pulled a Triple H. Because he was like, because I know what he told him. I already know what Kevin Feige told him. He's like, hey, look, let this blow over for a little bit. We're going to bring you back. Once all this shit settles and folks forget about it, we're going to bring you back in. Just go do your thing at DC. We're going to bring you back. You can come back and make another movie for us. You can finally get back on Guardians 3, and we can go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. And here's the thing. James Gunn has even also said, we've talked about this before on the show, that James Gunn has constantly been in talks with Kevin Feige about making something happen between Marvel and DC movie-wise. And he said that Kevin is incredibly receptive to it, because Kevin Feige isn't a part of that whole tribalism thing that everybody else is. Kevin Feige is not out here talking about how, oh yeah, we're smashing the game on movies, DC can go get fucked, I hope Black Adam don't make $10, and good luck with not MCU studios.
What's
That's
funny
not
with
what
that
he says.
tribalism is it's none of the people at the top.
No.
It's all you motherfuckers sprinkled going
That
to
ain't
movie
getting no
theaters and
money.
bootleg, and I'm like,
Yeah, you ain't got no skin in the game. Ain't got no skin in the game. But no, the thing is, people do that though. I've seen people do that. Not just with this. Remember, because you used to work GameStop. We worked at GameStop. We knew what time it was. How many times would you come in there and hear people talking about, yeah, man, fuck Sony, man, I'm Xbox for life. Or be like, nah, man. No, no, you know what's funny about it? I still see people talking about how, yeah, man, Sony can get fucked. Microsoft for life, man. Microsoft is Game Pass, man. Sony go eat a dick. And I see people saying it all the time. And here's the thing. Y'all are fighting over shit that don't even give a fuck about you. Because I guarantee you, None of the people who work at Sony, none of the people who work at Microsoft give a fuck about any of y'all. Only thing they care about is that you buying them games and them consoles and peripherals. That's all they care about. It's the same thing at Marvel and DC. Matter of fact, I think I've heard both Kevin Feige and James Gunn say this, that one less dollar for Marvel isn't one more dollar for DC and vice versa. Because I think I remember this when Thor Ragnarok came out and people were blasting, because Justice League came out at the same time, and people were blasting Justice League and being like, dude, how are y'all gonna let a D-list Marvel character beat y'all at the box office with your A-Squad? And I remember Kevin Feige saying this. He was like, he doesn't want DC movies to fail, because he says if DC movies fail, we all fail, because if people start hating the DC movies, they're going to start getting burnt out. They're going to start doing the whole, oh, well, I'm just, because I remember hearing people say, oh, I'm burnt out on all these superhero movies. And he's like, no, he said, we want people to keep coming back and seeing superhero movies. So if we're shitting on one and trying to uplift another, he's like, we're hurting the entire genre. And I want to make sure I'm clear on this. There is, and James Gunn has said this too, there is no rivalry between Marvel and DC on a corporate level.
Yep.
On a corporate level, which is the only level that actually matters. There's
Juggernaut,
no rivalry.
PC Master Race bitches, you all are the worst ones.
Yeah.
You all are the worst ones, dog. This is not just when he's bringing up Sony and Xbox, because that's what we've had experiences in, because we've seen those arguments.
Oh, I've seen the PC one too.
Fall out. But PC Master Race and all that bullshit, y'all are just as bad. Because I could very easily say y'all over here spending $6,000 on your entire PC system to play Dead by Daylight. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Or Fortnite.
Stop.
Fortnite.
I spent over $10,000 on my system playing Minecraft. Shut your ass up.
I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
That 30, 80, 40, 90, 63, 19 don't give a fuck about you. That shit
really
will overheat all the same.
Yep.
Stop it.
Here's the thing. With everything the way it is, let's be honest with ourselves. The only thing that PC really has over console gaming now, because console gaming's come that far in the last decade or so, is that there are certain games that don't release on console that typically only release on PC. That's really it. And early access and updates are still different for PC. Like, PC games can get updated relentlessly, but console is because of servers, and they can only do so many updates ever so often on like Microsoft servers and Sony servers, versus being able to just put out updates on the regular at Steam, or Epic or whatever. But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck where you play your game.
I wasn't talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about people that act like that.
Yeah. No, that's where I'm coming from. That's where
I'm coming from.
I feel like it don't matter where you play your games. The point of the matter is, are you playing them? Are you enjoying them? You are? You having a good time? Good. That's what the developers want.
But yeah, when it pertains to James Gunn, I think that honestly, I think Snyder fans and you, I can feel your energy right now. But I think Snyder fans might be a little bit happy just because with James Gunn, and I say that because I think personally, with James Gunn there, the kind of films that he does with Suicide Squad, with Peacemaker and the like, I think they're gonna still get that Snyder dark, edgy kind of stuff, except it's gonna have someone good behind the camera.
Yeah,
it's not gonna have a lot of lens flare that's gonna blind Ernie, and
or
it's
slow-mo.
or slow-mo. And even with all that edgelord dark stuff that you got with Snyder, you're actually gonna have some shit that's funny because James Gunn can do both. So I think
you'll have a good story.
Are gonna be happy. Yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna be happy with this James Gunn.
It won't just be flair. It'll be substance as well, because that's what Snyder brings to the table. He brings flair. He rarely ever brings substance. And I don't think and honestly, I'm sure that a DCEU under Zack Snyder we wouldn't even be talking about the DCEU more, the DCEU anymore if that was the case, because we would have already gotten to this point with a rebrand. They would have had to rebrand just to save the shit. But I guess while we're here, speaking of DC Studios, and I guess actually, you know what, before we do, let's jump in. We got a super chat here real quick I want to answer. With BS Filter coming through with the $5 super chat, says, you're right about the Batgirl movie. A friend of a friend sat for the showing and said that it should have been made. Oh, and he managed to get if he got a copy, he needs to send it to James Gunn. Send it to Gunn. He'll probably do something with it. I don't know.
Man, do a X-Men Origins. Put that shit online, big dog.
Right? Look. Wait about 6 months, and then just dump that shit up. Like, matter of fact, you know what? Here's what I do. I would be green as hell if I had a copy of Batgirl. Whenever the next Batman movie comes out, I would drop that shit the week of. Just the week before, like the week before or the week of, be like, oh yeah, y'all like that? Here you go. Just to get people talking, because then you know it's gonna be like, oh man, y'all should have went ahead and went through with it. But no, let's move on to our next thing so we can keep good time here. Yeah, let's do that. Next thing, Green Lantern, HBO Max series. Not canceled, but it is getting overhauled, because David Zaslav has been slashing budgets left and right. And this is actually one of those areas where I almost have to applaud him on this one. And it pains me to say such. It actually Zaslav here, because this, while I think is kind of an iffy scenario, I can rock with it. So basically, to give you an idea of what's going on here, is the Green Lantern. Oop, let's see here. Did it? It's fucking up again. Oh, I swear to God, I hate the internet sometimes. But anyways, we're just keep going. But no, so for those, whether you're in the know or not, the Green Lantern series, it was originally supposed to focus on Alan Scott Green Lantern and Guy Gardner Green Lantern. That is done. We're no longer getting a Green Lantern Corps series focused on those characters. Finn Wittrock and Jeremy Irvine, who would have portrayed Guy Gardner and Alan Scott respectively, they are no longer attached to the series and will not be appearing in the show. However, and we don't have any confirmation on who will be portraying this character, but what we do know is that Jon Stewart is now going to be the focus of this Green Lantern series on HBO Max, which I think is a good move. And also, I feel like this news was well-timed, because if you have or have not been keeping up, they just recently put Green Lantern Beware My Power, which focuses on Jon Stewart a bit, on HBO Max recently, so the news kind of had timeliness.
Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I watched it.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
Did you think there was too much going on?
No. I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time.
I will. At least we have one thing where Aldous Hodge ain't just getting whooped in its entirety.
I was gonna say
something.
Yeah, I will say if there's any one criticism I have about it, I feel like Aldous Hodge's performance. I feel like he was more stunted in this. Okay, here, let's put it like this. I feel like the way he played Hawkman in Black Adam, like from an attitude perspective, would have worked better when he played Jon Stewart.
So
like the attitude wise.
He get whooped by Black Adam. Now he getting whooped by you in his animated features, dog.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, did you ever notice how, like, he just kind of seemed like he was just talking? He didn't seem like he was acting. He was just talking. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Now I understand. Okay.
He wasn't like, so case in point, when, oh my God, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm blanking on the gentleman's name. But the guy who was, okay, not Nolan North, who I believe he was playing Hal. Yeah. He was playing Hal Jordan. And the guy who played Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy Simpson, that was who's playing Green Arrow. I feel like they were trying a little bit harder to project. Aldous Hodge was just talking. I could tell he was just reading. Like, I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. I liked the movie, but that's my one criticism of it. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Like, I was like, dude, why are people hating him? I mean, I will say, it sucks that he's not the core focus. He just kind of happens to be there. But honestly, it is what it is. I could be mad about it, or I could just choose to allow myself to step outside myself and maybe have a good time with my kid. Instead of just sitting there grumbling the entire time we're watching a movie together. I felt the same way about Lee. Oddly charming and fun. I actually thought Keanu Reeves' Batman was hilarious. I miss my parents. Like, I was like, dude, bruh. But no, so here's the thing. Here's the caveat I want to put on this, though. Greg Berlanti, still executive producer over the series. So that is still in place. Nothing changes there. There will also be some script rewrites. Seth Grahame-Smith is out as showrunner. And which is crazy because, to give you an idea, some of you might be just dropped. And supposedly it's back. Okay. It's gonna mess up a couple more times. I can kind of already see it happening. Okay, it's trying. It's a little toaster, a little engine that could. Okay, let's get back to it. Well, it went up, now it dropped again. Anyway, whatever. Point of the matter is, since this has happened, this has been done for budgetary reasons. They have slashed the budget dramatically from what I hear, because this would have been an expensive show because of how many people would have been in it. Lots of Green Lanterns. Like, I'm talking, we would have seen, like, honestly, the budget on this probably, not saying it would have been closer to the Green Lantern Ryan Reynolds movie, but just saying the amount of lanterns you would have seen in it would have been closer to that versus not. But I don't know. What do you think about this? Do you think this is a good move, bad move, sideways, lateral move? What do you think?
Honestly, I think anything that will introduce people to something other than Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think that's always going to be a good look. And I think there are a lot of people who have been kind of clamoring for anything Green Lantern since that original series that was on Cartoon Network. That apparently just blew the Ryan Reynolds movie out of the water, and it was just a kid's show, but it was a solid thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what is wrong with Guy Gardner.
This man.
But honestly, I'm down for it, especially with the new heads we have at DC Studios. Mm-hmm. I have no reason to think they wouldn't try to put their best foot forward in this. We haven't been. My complaints are my complaints, but a lot of people don't feel the same way I do. So their track record is solid so far with Titans, with Doom Patrol, with Peacemaker. There's no reason for this Green Lantern series to be anything but a really good thing for HBO Max. So I'm really, really hopeful for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real here. Jon Stewart is probably the Green Lantern a lot of people are more familiar with it for no other reason than the Justice League cartoon. And
yeah.
For a lot of people, he is their Green. I mean, he's my Green Lantern, even though technically not for the same reason. But he is. If you ask a lot of people who grew up with that Justice League cartoon, then yeah, he's the guy. They're like, oh, who's this white dude?
If it's not gonna be Diggle, it's gonna be Jon Stewart.
Exactly. Which, I mean, to be fair, I think the world could do with a little more Jon Stewart. Let's just keep it 1,000. I feel like Jon Stewart gets the short end of the stick a lot of times when it comes to representation.
I do like the fact that they didn't go back to the well again and do Hal Jordan.
Right. No, same.
I really do like that. And even even with them doing Alan Scott and Guy Gardner, they still said, okay, yeah, this ain't gonna work either. Because anybody else would have just tried to tough it out and see what happens. But for them to actually have the wherewithal to be like, okay, this is the one everyone knows. Let's just do this. This is the safe, surefire bet. That's why, they can't fuck this up. And
Like,
when I
honestly,
say can't, I mean,
oh yeah,
I don't mean they can't because the show could be awful, but I'm saying you can't afford to mess up a Jon Stewart series.
Yeah,
man.
no, you can't.
You cannot afford to do that, especially with the Batgirl stuff that happened. You got to put your best foot forward on this one. So I'm really hopeful for it.
I will say this: the only thing, and you gonna hate me for this. Only thing I want. Only reason I'm kind of sad that we won't get Guy Gardner or any of the other Lanterns. I was really hoping for a Four Corpsmen reference. You didn't read the Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps, did you?
I did not.
Okay, so the Four Corpsmen was a running joke throughout the Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps series. Guy Gardner was always like, man, we're like the Four Horsemen, man. We're the Four Horsemen. And but not talking about the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, talking about Four Horsemen as in wrestling. And they actually
okay.
And they paid it off towards the end of that series, because like you see right here, was it because at one point they get stuck on something, and John's like, he's like, hey man, 4 legs on a table, and then the rest of them come in and like 4 walls on a house, 4 seats in a Mustang GT. And then what was it? And then you got Guy Gardner looking like a whole John Cena. The only good thing I ever did is be your friend.
That's kind of cool.
The Four Corpsmen, baby. Ooh, I love it. That's actually my favorite. Like that's the most I have loved a Green Lantern series. Like in my life.
Is that the one Grant Morrison was writing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Grant Morrison came after.
Okay.
Grant Morrison, Grant Morrison came after. But I'm trying to remember. I think that was Robert. Was it Robert Venditti? I think it was Robert Venditti. I want to say. I'm looking it up right now because I should remember this. Yeah, it was Robert Venditti. Robert Venditti and had a bunch of different artists on it, but like Jordi Taranga, Jason Wright, Tomeo Mori. But it was good. It was a really good series because it didn't focus on, even though it was called Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps, it didn't focus on Hal Jordan. Like everybody, Kyle, Guy, John, Hal, everybody got equal booking. Even Kilowog got a lot of, they may as well just called it the Green Lantern Corps, just called it that and been done with it, because that's what it was. But yeah, no one would have bought it. If you said, because the whole thing was, it focused on Hal Jordan at first, and then like as the book went on, it just started everybody, like after the first like 2 or 3 issues, then everybody came in, they brought back Kyle, brought back John, Kilowog, everybody else. And all the Lanterns, Sinestro's daughter is in it a lot. And they paid off a lot of stories. They paid off a lot of story arcs. There's some wild stuff that happens. Zod, the Green Lanterns pull up on Zod for a little bit. A lot of the other Lantern Corps are involved in, and I think probably the biggest selling point on it was that, I guess this isn't so much of a spoiler, but the best part about it was that it was the Yellow Lanterns and the Green Lanterns working together for a huge chunk of it. Like they became one solid core, which I thought was awesome. But yeah, neither here nor there. Let's move on to the next thing. But before we do, let's take a look at these super chats. We got another one here from Jonathan Motor, the homie out here with the $20. Says, you crap on one, you crap on the industry, but let's be honest, it's the crows that act like those mega fans that create the demand and hype, because that outcry motivates like nothing else. And here's the thing. I remember when DC used to lean into the rivalry. Because remember, who was it? Who was the director? I think it was it David Ayer?
Yeah.
with Suicide Squad,
stuff.
where he
Yeah.
said he said
Yep.
said fuck the Avengers or fuck Marvel or some shit like that. So I remember somebody doing that, and then I remember I think Jason Momoa did something kind of vaguely similar. And it was like, and I remember one of the I forget who it was, but one of the top guys at Warner Brothers actually said the same thing I said earlier about when we were talking about Thor. When Thor Ragnarok and Justice League came around the same time, he said he basically said it. He said, if our A squad can't beat Marvel's D squad, like he said, this is our A squad. If we can't beat their D squad, then you know that says a lot about us. And then what happened? Thor Ragnarok made more money than Justice League. And that guy is no longer with the company. So I mean, take that how you wanna, but that's just how it is.
Man, see, David Ayer could have spoke better if his Suicide Squad, since you brought up Zod, if his Suicide Squad had Zod on it, maybe more motherfuckers would have enjoyed that movie.
Probably.
A lot of people don't even remember that
Zod was on the team.
Yeah, Zod was on the team for a minute. Bomb in his head and everything. They got worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember because wasn't that the same time where like Black Manta was on the team too, wasn't he? It was Black Manta and Zod on the team same time, wasn't it?
I believe so, but that Suicide Squad one was hilarious just because Zod got the bomb out of his head by lasering a mirror to reflect it and get the bomb out of your head.
I remember that shit. Yeah, that was honestly. That was actually a solid run, too. That was actually a solid Suicide Squad run.
There are several solid runs of Suicide Squad that no one has read. Like, we'd be here all day.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of being here all day, Alma Poe, good lord, with the $4.99 super chat says, love the idea of Green Lantern in live action. I think it could work. I think it can work if you do it correctly. Like, don't... It's one of the reasons why I'm always so sad about the Green Lantern live-action movie with Ryan Reynolds. Because I feel like, for one, he wasn't playing the right Green Lantern. Like, he shouldn't have been Hal Jordan. But at the same time, also, I don't hate the movie. I just think that it was so much ambition that just went nowhere. Like, you had Angela Bassett as Amanda Waller. And in a bad wig, no less.
I forgot about that.
Yep. And you also had... oh man, what was the guy's name? Lord, why am I blanking on his name all of a sudden? Mark Strong.
Yeah,
I thought he was a good Sinestro. And and then you had the whole thing, like, I always call it the Game Is On award. It won the Game Is On award for having the stinger at the end that basically says, hey, we're getting a sequel. No, you ain't. You ain't getting it. Remember that shit they did? They did this shit, was it Dracula Untold? Where Charles Dance was like, the game is on. And it's like, no, the game is not on.
I watched that recently. I didn't know there was supposed to be sequel, but was this supposed to be a part of the whole Dark Universe thing?
That was supposed to be the kickoff of the Dark Universe.
Oh!
That was supposed to be the original kickoff, and the movie bombed so badly that they said, nah, get that out of here.
Bruh,
and then they came back with the Mummy.
With the Mummy, yeah.
And now the Dark Universe is no more. Oh, goddamn. Anyway... we got Night 19 with a $10 super chat. Says, aside from cutting the budget when the Black Man's the lead, I'm excited for John to get some long-form character development he rarely gets in the comics. Just don't kill his wife. Now, here's the thing, and I want to point this out about the budget. The reason why the budget is being slashed is because there's not going to be as many key characters in the story. It's gonna focus on John and very likely few other characters. If Kilowog is in this, the budget about to be blown on Kilowog alone. So look, Toma Ray and Toma 2 and Kilowog and what was the little Squirtle Chip? Oh, your budget is ripped. Your budget is gone. Because they're very likely going to try and get some actor of some cachet to do this role, most likely. Let's see here. We got another one here. We got John Komodo again with the $20 said, Blerd Fear. How do you recall these details so easily? Impressed each week. Look, man, I have a memory that's really good at remembering bullshit. That's what that is. I don't remember shit else. That's a fact. Like, you ask me to remember, like, dates, I can barely remember my wedding anniversary date. But I do, but, like, I have to think about it sometimes. Or how long my wife and I have been together. I have to think about, like, is it? God damn, it sure has been over 10 years. Closer to 12 or 13 now at this point. But no, but yeah, trivial stuff. I remember weird, like, case in point, you know, and weird aside, that's why I have this, so I can play this game, and I can correct people all the time. It's a game where you have to tell somebody a question that has a very wrong statement in it, and you have to tell them what the correct answer is. And the example they give on the back is for Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2, 2001 video game. Enemies in Silent Hill 2 reflect the psychological trauma of the main characters. These monsters, which include a mechanical spider with a baby's head and a woman's severed legs attached to a fishing rod, reflect Alessa's memories of hospitalization and James's anxiety about his wife's illness. The correct answer is neither of those monsters are in Silent Hill 2. Those are two of Sid's disfigured toys from Toy Story. That's why I like games like that. But anyway, moving on. LJ Brown with the £5 says, does the GL series under Berlanti make you nervous? It makes me nervous. Remember, he's a producer. If Carter's favorite new show, producer of Carter's favorite new show coming, Gotham Knights. I forgot that show's happening. But Greg Berlanti does a lot of stuff, because he also does Stargirl as well, I think. Which, I like Stargirl. I still like Stargirl, even though it's getting a little weird right now, but it's still okay. Still okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I was gonna say too. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, don't introduce Jon Stewart's wife just to clap her cheeks, and not in the fun way. Not in the fun way at all. Let's move on to the next thing. We still got two more topics I want to get into. Vision, getting a Disney Plus series. This has actually gotten legs because, according to insider Jeff Snyder of the Hot Mic podcast, Marvel Studios is developing a Vision solo series titled Vision Quest. Now, here's the thing. For, I see Carter, he's already giggling. He's already giggling and sniggling. Let's be clear about something. I want to make sure we're being incredibly fair here. While the name sounds funny, and it is funny, it does make some modicum of sense. And this series will very likely not focus on the oh goodness. It very likely will not focus on Vision as, you know, we're probably used to seeing Vision in the MCU. I believe this is actually going to focus on the Vision we saw in the White Vision that we saw in WandaVision, most likely. This is what all the... Like, cause at the end of that series, that version of Vision just kind of disappeared. Just went off into the ether and was going to go find himself. That's kind of what we were left with at the end of WandaVision. That's pretty much what we're expected to see if and when this show comes out. And less if, more when, because as it is revealed, Jeff Snyder said on his podcast that I'm told that next week Marvel will be opening a writer's room for a Vision show titled Vision Quest. This might also just be a working title for right now, but that said, he didn't say that, I'm saying that part. But he also said this is coming from a good source who has been accurate in the past. Now, before you say how accurate, Carter, I'm going to answer you, because his accuracy is that he recently was the one who broke the news on Harrison Ford joining the MCU, taking over as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross about a couple of weeks before the news actually went legit, and he was correct. And he says that same source is the same source who broke that news. So there you go. So yeah, there you have it. What do you think, Carter? Would you like to watch a a MCU show based on cataract vision?
Sure. Only reason I was laughing is just because Vision Quest. It made me think of this show a friend of mine introduced me to. It's called Harmon Quest with Dan Harmon.
Oh yeah.
I started thinking about D&D kind of shit. That's why I got a laugh out of it.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
But honestly, yeah, sure. I'd be interested in seeing that. We need some kind of continuation for that, dude. We've gotten it for
Agatha.
Well, shit. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Agatha. I was thinking about Scarlet
Witch.
What's her actual name?
Oh, Elizabeth Olsen. Wanda Maximoff.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking about. But we've already gotten some kind of a continuation with Wanda with the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, we need something with Vision. But yeah, you're right about Agatha. It's gotten to the point where we've already seen what's happened with I forgot her name. We were just talking about how horrible our memories are. You just told me Scarlet Witch's name. I almost said Madeline. You know, I almost said Madeline. I almost said Madeline Pryor. I swear to God.
Lord, this man almost called her the Goblin Queen.
I forgot it. Our memories are terrible.
But yeah, Wanda.
Good example. Wanda, thank you. We've gotten something with Wanda. We're getting something with Agatha. So yeah, we absolutely need something to happen with Vision. Just keep Kat Dennings out of it.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I you know, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if she was there, but I know she'll just suck up all the oxygen.
I'm mad that I forgot Wanda's name and you didn't tell me not 4 seconds prior, bro.
Hey, look, man, we getting up there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh shit!
Yeah, just for the sake of time, I don't really have anything else to say about this other than that it's happening. Cool, I'm happy for it. I'm glad that it's happening. I can't really give any other commentary beyond that. If that makes any sense to anybody. I'm just kind of here on it. But to keep in the effort of keeping things moving. Let's move on to our this will be our last topic, and then we're gonna get into questions from the Discord. I just want to get through actually I didn't put it up, so here, we'll just have to do it the other way. There is one other thing coming, Carter, that we don't have a lot of news about, and we can get through this real quick because there's not really a lot to say, but I'm just curious how you feel about it. So, are you familiar with the Image Top Cow character, The Darkness?
Of course.
I know. I was just fucking with you because I was literally there when you played the game. But no. So recently, Mark Silvestri said something at New York Comic Con in an interview with comicbook.com.
Okay.
He, who for those who don't know, Mark Silvestri is the co-creator of The Darkness. Some of you may or may not remember the character, but it was pretty much a staple of like the late 90s, early 2000s. He was kind of like I guess if you were into something like Spawn and you just wanted something similar but with Italian mobsters, here you go.
He also has a Bat book coming out you all may see in the back of all your DC comics.
Yes.
He has a Batman book coming out where it's the dynamic duo is Batman and the Joker. Apparently this is his magnum opus for DC.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And there's a new Darkness series coming out. But that was actually why it was brought up, because during this interview, Mark Silvestri was asked if this new The Darkness comic could, quotey fingers, prime the pump for adaptations. And Mark Silvestri said that there are things going on, but nothing specific that he could reveal just yet. This could be anything. This could be an animated series a la Invincible. This could be a live-action TV show. This could be a live-action movie. It could be stamps. That used to be a thing. You also remember they used to make actually, they still do, but it was more common back in like, well, actually, technically it was less common, but it was more of a unique thing back in like the 40s and the 50s. But yeah, they actually do put comic book characters on stamps still. But neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is, we don't know what the fuck this is. It could be anything. Now, for those who are not familiar, the Darkness is a gentleman by the name of Jackie Estacado. And he is basically, he's a criminal. He's part of an Italian crime family. And he discovers that he has something in his lineage that grants him the power of the Darkness. Which was really weird, because the powers of the Darkness were always incredibly nebulous to me. Which I think was intentional. Because, like, he could do just I mean, he could make the weird, like, Cthulhu tentacles, and he always had those weird little demon goblin creatures, like here, that were always kind of hanging out with him and talking to him, and, you know, all this other stuff. But, like, a lot of times he just did shit as the plot demanded. I think here's the thing, Carter. You know what my takeaway from the Darkness was? That he couldn't have kids. That was my takeaway from the Darkness. I don't know if you ever read enough to remember that, but
So
okay,
and this is all I'll say about it.
Okay,
but because of that plot point, he there were a few girls that he would want to have sex with, but he couldn't, because if that was to happen, something horrible could happen. So a running gag was the fact that
he got to beat that meat. He got to beat that meat.
Danger, danger, danger.
This man had killed the camera. Look, man. Look, Jackie was like, "Look, man, I only need my own hand."
Yes, that was a running thing, because he could not have sex with anyone, or something catastrophic would happen. So yeah.
Yeah, it was something about the power of the Darkness, like if he, because basically it was one of those deals where, like, if he passed his seed, the Darkness would leave him and go to whoever the child would be, and if he lost the power, it would kill him. That was what I remember. I could be wrong.
I think the only person he could pipe out was Witchblade.
Which is why they were always together. Yeah, that's why they always put them together. Which, yeah, that's whatever. The Darkness was such... the Darkness dread No Nut November. Y'all ain't shit. Look, with No Nut November... Look, when No Nut November showed up, this motherfucker just be like, ain't this about a bitch? Notice where the hand at.
Wow. I didn't see it. I didn't see it at first. Wow.
Look, anyway, but yeah, this is the thing that's gonna happen most likely. So Mark Silvestri, the only other thing he said was that I cannot say anything. He says, look, it's like we're looking at here. It's like you always have things going on. And I can say this, that we have something, but I can't say anything more than that. But I can assure you this, that if that thing that's potentially going on goes forward, it'll be badass beyond belief. So there you go. Those are his exact words.
Okay, real quick. They tried this a few years ago, and he was just as excited, and it didn't work, because they tried to reboot it, and it was a little mini series. They tried to reboot Witchblade, and it didn't work. And then they tried to reboot Witchblade again with Witchblades, where it was a bunch of kids that had Witchblade power and the Darkness power, and the shit didn't work that time either. And that was maybe a year or two back. So
it was rough. It was pretty rough. Some of you may or may not remember the Darkness video game series, which are fun games. I love the Darkness games. I think they're pretty damn good, if I'm being brutally honest.
You want to watch me play it? Go to my YouTube channel. I do a full playthrough of the Darkness 2. That's one of my favorite shooters.
But, yeah, it was actually really fun. It was really fun. And for those who don't know, yeah, they actually had two games. What was it? They had two video game adaptations. First one was PS3 and Xbox 360 back in 2007, Starbreeze. The sequel was Digital Extremes. That one was actually on PC as well as PS3, Xbox 360 back in like 2012. But both games had Mike Patton from Faith No More as the voice of the Darkness, which I thought was amazing because his voice has so much range. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever like listened to Faith No More, Carter?
Not until after the first game, because I didn't know who the fuck that was.
Okay, gotcha. So like, yeah, like he had to like you want it all, but yeah, that guy. But yeah, it's pretty freaking awesome. It's pretty freaking awesome. But here, let's see. Oh, go ahead and eat business, Pip. I'll take the calm for. Go ahead and eat business. It's actually one of the rare times I looked up and saw what it was. Go ahead. Anyway, but no, what I will say is that they've actually tried to do this before. If it's a movie, they actually tried to make a Darkness film back in 2004, but it never got off the ground. And I think the rights, roughly around 2008, everything kind of fell apart. I think in 2012 they sold the rights to the Pang brothers. I don't know if that's still the case, but it is what it is. Let's get into, we're gonna get into recommendations, but also let's answer a super chat here right quick. And actually did not mean to do that there. Here, let's get rid of this right here for a sec. There you go. Jonathan Bono says, wait! 249 watching and only 96 likes. Get those likes up on YouTube Interactions Report and support the team. Yes, we appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we got 249 people here. If you have not hit that like button, please Hulk smash that sumbitch for me so we can let YouTube know where you enjoy spending your time the most on Saturdays. Please and thank you. It is very, very, very important. Very important. Likes are equally as important as views. And the more people they see clicking that like button, the more they will recommend this stream to other people so we can build up that audience and make it bigger than it's ever been before. So let's do that. That said, I'll go ahead and give my recommendation for this week while Carter's away. And we'll when he comes back, he can give his. My recommendation for this week is gonna be, and I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but I recommend you watch the latest episode of Atlanta. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you watch this most recent episode. It was insane, is what I'll say. It's called The Goof Who Sat by the Door. And I remember reading the blurb on it. There was a blurb on it on Hulu before I actually sat down and watched it. I actually saw the blurb the week prior. And it was crazy because it was like, hey, there's it was basically talking about the Goofy movie. It made a reference to the Goofy movie. And I was like, oh, so it's probably going to be something where they're going to probably have some random obscure reference to the Goofy movie. And then you realize, no, that's not the case. It's a faux documentary called The Goof Who Sat by the Door. They actually are treating this like it's a legitimate documentary, and it's fucking hilarious. It's also heartbreaking in a lot of ways, but it's also really fucking hilarious. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else about it beyond that. Just know it's amazing. It's amazing. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Let's see. Yes, it is. I don't want to say anything about what it's actually about. I'm not going to say anything about what it's actually about, but what I will say is that all you need to know is that it's a documentary. I do want to go ahead and say right now, I do want to put the caveat on this because a lot of people didn't catch this. It is a faux documentary. It's not real. That's the only thing I'm going to say about it as far as spoiler-wise. Everything else is everything else. But, oopsie doodle. Let's get rid of that for a second. And let's get rid of that. There you go. But yeah, that's my recommended for the week. I gave my recommended, Carter. I just recommended the latest episode of Atlanta. Did you? What's your recommendation for this week?
My recommendation this week comes from Henry Cavill because of the breaking news that happened while I was away for a couple minutes. Breaking news is that Henry Cavill posted on Instagram that he is not coming back for The Witcher season 4. He is putting down the sword and the medallion. He is retiring from that role. The role is now going to be going to Liam Hemsworth. So my recommended this week is to watch them first few seasons of The Witcher, man. Yeah, because I enjoyed it. Coming from a motherfucker that told me played The Witcher 2 and like 15 minutes of Witcher 3, I enjoyed that show. So yeah, that's my recommended. Go watch The Witcher.
Say play 15 minutes of Witcher 3. That's funny. I will also say, let's see here. Oh, and apparently the Rihanna track just dropped.
Herbert Scott, you are absolutely right. I actually got sad when I was watching that Atlanta episode because I had not seen Sinbad in a minute.
Yeah,
I was watching some stand-up of his that I thought was fairly recent, and
it was not.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad, man.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in a new tab. I will be listening to this here in just a moment. The new Rihanna track for Wakanda Forever. But that said,
I'm not capping. I'm not trolling. Go to Henry Cavill's Instagram. He literally just posted that like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I didn't say you were.
No, I'm reading the chat.
Oh, no, I can confirm. Yeah, he's not lying. It's true. Henry Cavill's out. But that said, let's move on to questions from the Discord. And actually, before we do, I will answer some of these super chats here real quick because I think we can do that. Cameron Payne. Oh wait, here will it do? There it is. Says I Hulk smashed that like button and broke my phone. Are you happy now? Just kidding. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Pip. We also got John Battle with the $5 super chat. Says I'm just dropping some love for the cave. Always a great show. We appreciate you, Pimp. Let's get into our questions for this week. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. Ajax came through with the question in the Discord. Says I was watching the X-Men Evolution animated series, and Professor X seems to be a good guy. In X-Men TAS, he was a good guy. Do you think we'll get an X-Men series where we talk about how bad Charles is or was? Just a thought I had. By the way, love y'all show. I can't tune in live because of work, but I definitely catch up on days off, and you always get a like from me. We appreciate you, Pimp. Thank you for that.
That's why we got it on Spotify now.
Yeah, on Spotify. Spotify, y'all. Make sure y'all check it. But no, I don't know if we'll ever get that. We get glints, kind of glimmers of it from time to time, but we never actually get problematic Charles. They always want Charles to be likable. And I get why, because it would make you ask the question, why do these people follow him?
We've gotten hints of problematic, but it was in X3.
That too. I will also say, if you want problematic Charles Xavier, watch Doom Patrol. Dr. Niles Calder, the Chief. That's your problematic Charles Xavier.
Shit, Patrick Stewart could do it. Did you see the Green Room?
Yeah.
Man, a whole ass white supremacist.
Yeah.
I don't know why they won't do it with him. I think one reason is because you got to pump out the movies quick because Patrick Stewart getting up there.
Oh yeah, y'all thought Sinbad looked rough, man. Look. Shadow the Cat 99 says Ant-Man 3 looks crazy. I wanted to ask, who do you think Kang will kill in the saga? The Avengers can't get by Kang without a loss, I don't think. I think that Wasp or Ant-Man will die personally. Hope you all have a great week. Honestly, if they went the Avengers disassembled route, like, and I don't mean the correlation between Kang and Ant-Man, but I'm talking about Scott Lang catching that work. Because he did catch that work. And he did die. So I wonder if maybe maybe because Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd still looks like he's 25 years old at his age today. But he might be getting tired. He might be getting tired. He might want to chill for a little bit. You never know.
I can see Wall Street catching it before he does.
Oh, yeah, no, Hank will definitely probably catch it before it's all said and done. I would even say any other characters from the original crop of heroes could very likely catch it by the time you get to Secret Wars. And then, of course, if the 2015 Secret Wars is anything to go by, anybody can catch it, because folks caught it left and right in that comic and came right back, because they undid all the Battle World shit. But Jay Dizzle says, "Yo, brothers, I'm curious as to your overall rankings of Marvel Comics events, line-wide, especially in light of Judgment Day, which I thought was really good as events go. What are your top 5 since Secret Wars?" Says, "Mine are OG Secret Wars." That's the Marvel superheroes Secret Wars, the Jim Shooter joint from 1984. And then he says the 2015 Secret Wars, OG Inferno, Original Civil War, and Infinity Gauntlet, with honorable mentions going to Age of Apocalypse, Planet Hulk, Onslaught. I didn't include Hoxpox because that seems like more an X-Men event. I said X-Vent. But an X event. Yeah, there you go. Honestly, I wouldn't put Hoxpox in there either for the same reason. Because at least with Inferno had wider ranging implications beyond just the X-Men, if that makes any sense. It was still more of an X event, but it wasn't just X-Men centric. But yeah, for me, I would definitely say, and I won't put this in any specific order just because it would make me sit here and overanalyze myself too long and way too hard. But I will definitely put Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars in the conversation. I'll also put the Infinity Gauntlet, OG Infinity Gauntlet, in there. Avengers. Avengers Disassembled. I'll put Avengers Disassembled in there, because that one was kind of wild. I will also put. You know what? Nobody puts respect on this. I'm gonna put Dark Reign in there, because I love Dark Reign. It was so good. I liked that. I liked it because it was the bad guys had finally. Well, I say finally, not really, but they had finally won. The bad guys finally won. And then, last. What would I put last? You know what? Because it got me back in the game. Secret Invasion. I really liked Secret Invasion. A lot. Like, probably too damn much, but I liked it a lot. Carter, what about you? You got any? I already know what this motherfucker about to say. He probably about to say some bullshit.
So I'll raise your Secret Wars 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I will then add Avengers vs. X-Men, Civil War 2, Spider-Man the Clone Conspiracy, and
I already knew he was gonna say some dumb shit. He just tried to be a contrarian is all. You know, fucked up part is, doesn't bother me at all, because I actually like DBX.
It wasn't for you. It was for everybody else who listens to this on Spotify, comes back and watches this like, what the hell did it? Civil War 2?
I mean, shit, I didn't hate Civil War 2 either.
No, they probably started cussing as soon as I said Clone Conspiracy. Oh goodness.
Lord, don't do it. This man.
But funny enough, you came back with Secret Invasion. Mm-hmm. I came back with Siege. Funny enough.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. They all kind of bleed into each other. Because you go from Secret Invasion right into Dark Reign, and when you come out of Dark Reign, there's like some stuff in the middle, but Siege is pretty much almost immediately after. Which I think that whole lineup, I think is great. Like, especially if you read it all in one sitting. Like, you just go straight from Secret Invasion, Dark Reign, Siege. Because you get to see the rise and fall of Norman. Osborn.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, you do. Yes,
God.
You do. Oh, my last one. Adjectiveless X-Men Curse of the Mutants.
This fool.
All them vampires around here, dog.
Actually, I kind of, the only bad thing I can say about the Curse of the Mutants is Blade isn't in it enough. That's the only bad thing I can say about it.
Why they make that bullshit all about Jubilee, man?
Hey, she got to be a vampire, man.
That motherfucker was a vampire for a good 9 years or something.
Oh, yeah. And they still talk about it. They still bring it up. It still gets brought up. Let's see here. Let's move on to the next one. We got one from Urban Prince of Strong Styles. It says, salutations, Blerd and Carter. Been reading this X-Men Krakoa arc, and I've been thinking about who is going to be the Judas of Orcus's downfall. And I have a feeling that Dr. Alia Gregor and Director Devos are going to be the ones who will betray Orcus. Do you think that will be the case as well, or will it be someone else? I don't think if anyone, it'll be Alia Gregor. I don't think Director Devo would betray his own company. Now, I will say, he is getting some undesirables among his ranks. By way of Abigail Brand, who is a mutant. And he also has another mutie in his ranks by way of Judas Traveler. So he's got two mutants chilling in his midst. And one who technically this version of Nathaniel Essex isn't a mutant. But Dr. Stasis, he's not a mutant. He's the Nathaniel Essex before he got the X gene. But he's probably still a little too close for Director Devo's liking. But I don't think it'll be either of them. I actually think Nathaniel Essex and Alia Gregor stand more of a chance of turning versus anyone else. And that's largely because we've already kind of seen the hint dropped with Alia Gregor and Nimrod that Erasmus is still kind of a sore spot for her. And the question now becomes, is her racism or speciesism so strong that she can let that go? That's the question. And we all know Nathaniel Essex is out for Nathaniel Essex. Let's move on. LJ Brown says, I know Gotham Knights game got released, but considering Zaslav's track record, do you think AAA WB games are going to be stopped for low budget games as Zaslav tries to save money until the Universal buyout? I think we won't hear much about Warner Brothers games. I don't think we'll get very many, if any, outside of what's already in the works, like the Suicide Squad versus the Justice League game. I think that'll stay, but I don't think you're going to get any major announcements about Warner Brothers games for a while. I wouldn't expect it, unless it's something on mobile, but something that can be made on the cheap. Which, speaking of being made on the, not being made on the cheap, I've actually been really enjoying that Marvel Snap game. Scary
Nick
thought.
asked me about that when they were all streaming Fortnite the other day. I just downloaded it.
It's actually fun.
Yesterday. I haven't even fucking played it yet.
Yeah, it's actually fun. It's actually fun. Right before we get into this question from Ed Boy and the Cut, then we'll jump over to questions from the chat. So y'all go ahead and start putting questions in the chat if you have any. And I'll go back and look, but now was probably the better time to do that than earlier. But no, what I like it. It's it's basically Hearthstone, but played in a very different way. You have to play cards to take over areas. You're not just playing cards directly against each other. You're playing in 3 different zones. And so your opponent has to decide whether they want to risk it all and double down on one zone or try and split the difference. And I've actually caught a lot of people slipping in that game, overloading one block and not putting enough of their cards in the other 2. And what winds up happening is I wind up getting one of the other blocks, and I either end up beating them on the second block or tying them, which leads to me winning. And I think it's actually a draw. I think you both win if you end up tying. At least that's the way it kind of seemed to me. Or I think if you wind up with more points on or somehow, I don't know. Anyway, point of the matter is, game's actually fun. It's kind of stressful too, but very fun. I like it. Ed Boy in the Cut, though. They ask, have y'all seen these God of War Ragnarok leaks? No, I have not, and don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
What are the odds we get that question after I told you what I told you this morning, before the show started?
Oh yeah, there's not a spoiler in here, but I was joking. There's no spoiler. I've read ahead, but he says they got Thor talking. Actually, wait, let me say it the correct way. Namor. I know folks is gonna be mad because that's how I used to pronounce it. Actually not true. I used to pronounce it Namor. That's how I used to pronounce it. But folks used to tell me how wrong I was, that it was Namor, and shamed me into changing my pronunciation. And now Tado Huerta is coming out here saying Namor. Now they're gonna be mad. But now they're saying he's talking Namor levels of shit to Kratos and backing it up big time. I believe it because Thor is no joke. His sons were no joke in the first game, so I'm not surprised. But yeah, I'm ready. I have pretty much muted everything Thor related on social media, so I'm not.
So I will say this now, and I'll warn everybody, like I warned you and everyone else, be careful with YouTube because of the things you all watch. Since they are gaming related, there are going to be those dickheads that have spoilers on YouTube, but they'll make their tags gaming, video games, games, shit like that, so that it does pop up on your feed, whether you know that channel or you don't know that channel. Since you do watch that shit, it will pop up on your homepage on YouTube, more than likely, like in my case this morning, with a spoiler to fucking God of War. So be careful with that, y'all.
Yeah, y'all, but look, just tread carefully. Oh, let's see here. John Bo with $20 super chat says, "I almost said you almost got him." He said that was good. I almost believed you, Carter.
So that last one, I think I would have hit a nerve with Ernie, or Ernie would have just called me out, because the first one I was going to name was not going to be Secret Wars. I wanted to name one good one before I went downhill. That first one I was going to say was going to be Age of X-Man, but Ernie would have called it out immediately.
Oh, no, I'd have cussed you out. Well, no, here's the thing. At first I thought he was going to say Shadowland to be funny, but that's what I thought he was going to say. But no, Nerd Large says, thoughts on House of the Dragon Season 1 and future Game of Thrones spinoffs.
Never seen any of it.
Well, I tell you what, I can give you my impressions. I will say, my only true criticism of Hot D, because that's what the kids are calling it on the internet, Hot D. You got GOT, now you got Hot D. That D is hot. But, no, my only real criticism is I wish they didn't do as many time jumps. I wish they would have spread it out a little bit more, because I feel like they're rushing to through the conflict. But I get why they're doing it, because they don't want to drag things out the way that Game of Thrones did towards the end, or in the beginning rather, and then they started speeding things up towards the end and just got real awkward. But I like Rhaenyra as a character. I like her a lot, because I've actually seen some people who like hate her for some reason. Like they hate on her, because I saw people talking about how, oh man, people aren't keeping that same energy. Y'all were out here, y'all are cheering for Rhaenyra, but y'all weren't giving Cersei Lannister the same love and all that stuff. I was like, but Cersei was a terrible person. She was a terrible person. She was mean and evil. Rhaenyra's not evil. I mean, she's a person. She's a kid who grew up as a princess and was told all her life that she is going to be next in line. That is what she is. And while I feel like they've given the moral high ground to Rhaenyra, I feel like Queen Alicent Hightower is also an equally compelling character, even though I hate that woman's guts. I like how
she was worse in the book, but she's not as bad on the show.
The reason why is because the actress who plays her is kind of likable. She's a likable, not in how she plays the character, but she's like, if you've ever seen her in other stuff.
I've seen Olivia Clarke in a lot of stuff. Yeah, and that's why I slick almost watched it.
Yeah, she's really likable. She's a likable actress. And if you ever watch the stuff with her and was it Emma D'Arcy, when they're doing like the behind the scenes stuff, they are so fucking cute together, just so awesome and amazing. But I like the dynamic, because without spoiling anything, Rhaenyra gets the moral high ground in why they are going to war with each other. Why the Targaryens and the Hightowers, the Reds versus the Greens, are going against one another. And it's fucked up because it was something I saw coming a mile away, but not exactly the way that it happened. And I love the show. I think it's fantastic. As far as future spinoffs, I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but I would love to see something about the Starks, okay, not just the Starks. I want them to get to the point where they tackle the rebellion against the Mad King. That's the shit I wanted to see when they were talking about Game of Thrones prequels. That's the shit I wanted to see. I want to see young Robert Baratheon, young Stark, young Ned, putting paws on the Mad King. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see. But we didn't get that.
Quick question.
Yes, go ahead.
And I'll leave it there. When it comes to the Viserys dude, because why
Skeletor?
Was it a disease or something? Because Doctor Who looked exactly the same every episode, but his brother didn't. Did he have a disease or something?
Yeah, I forget what they called it. What was that shit that he had? I don't remember. But basically,
but
it wasn't. Yeah, he had a disease. It was like some kind of affliction.
Okay.
It was some kind of affliction. I don't remember the exact. I don't remember the exact nature of it. Because that part I'm kind of wispy on. But yeah, basically that shit was killing him for a while. That shit was killing him for a long time. But yeah, it was, yeah, that shit was kind of, whew, Lord. Anyway. But yeah, it was basically like leprosy, basically. Because Grayscale, I felt like was something else. Because Grayscale didn't really, I guess technically, maybe it was Grayscale, because what was the name of the guy that they, I forget the guy, what did they call that dude? The Crab King or whatever he was, the dude they were fighting at the early on. He kind of had somewhat the same thing going on, but not exactly. But I liked Viserys, because he was a terrible person, but he was oddly enough one of the most likable people on the show. But I will tell you someone who I did not like a character on the show that I cannot stand to this day. I hate his guts. I think he is literally one of the worst. Ooh, I can't wait for this motherfucker to die. What's that motherfucker's name? Christian Cole. The dude from the guy that dude's still tight. Hold, let me see if I can find a picture of this fuckboy motherfucker. Here he is. This motherfucker. I'm so ready for this dude to die, it ain't even funny. This dude got to go. He got to catch him. One of them dragons got to light his ass on fire. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, Patty Considine, Patty Considine killed that role. He killed it. He killed the role of Viserys. That dude, first off, can I just point out, this dude was looking like a whole Skeletor at one point. Dude was looking like Skeletor. Man was out here looking like, matter of fact, well, hold on, wait a minute. Carter, you didn't tell me the Crypt Keeper was on this show.
Nah, I saw one worse where he had like a mask on because the eye was missing. He had no teeth or some such shit.
Yep. That is very, very true. Yeah, because I think when you get to just before, I think it was like the 7th episode, that's where you get him like this. You got the mask on, dude looking rough. But yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, he probably will live forever just to spite me.
Okay, real quick, because I see people asking about it in the chat. I just put it in the chat, but they're still asking. There is no new news on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
PlayStation Direct support called me in the middle of the week basically said they're investigating it, but there was an error on their website, so they couldn't see my stuff. They couldn't see that I ordered it, so I had to play a waiting game until the site worked. I checked the site today. It is working. They can see I ordered it. All they got to do is call FedEx, so FedEx can tell them that it never happened, and that's it. Like that, they're investigating. That's the only new news I have for you guys.
All right.
And was the black dude a bad guy?
No.
With the dreads?
Lord Corliss? No, he's not a bad guy. His brother is an asshole, but he's not a bad guy. Lord Corliss is.
I'm talking about the one that got the one that got clapped. The one that got his face slashed.
Oh, I mean, he's not a bad guy so much as he is a dick. He's just a dick. He's the brother of Lord Corliss. Lord Corliss Valerian. Yeah, no, Lord Corliss Valerian's not a bad guy. He's just an ambitious guy. Shaman 05 Line says, hey, wow, almost merged our names. Hey, Ernie and Carter. After hearing about darkness, I wonder about Spawn's blood. Has it ever been introduced to a mortal? Can Spawn halflings happen? Would a Spawn mentor / dad story interest you? No, it would not.
I think that's how, in some way or another, that's how we got Spawn.
Probably.
I could be wrong. I have to go back
Crab
and read
Eater.
those issues.
Thank you. Crab Eater. Thank you for that. That was the name of the guy they fought in like episode 2 or 3.
Oh.
He was a dude that had grayscale. And he hid his face behind a mask. Oh. He had the weight of the crown. A cut from the... oh, yeah. Jonathan Boda. Yeah, I see what the one says. It says they're taken from 3 different accounts. This is showing what actually happened, which is an example of how true history falls between the lines of our historical records. Yes, it's because a lot of people have criticized how the show is differentiating from some stuff. But yeah, it's you got to kind of take it. You have to take it one way versus the other. Let's see. Here, Yonoshi asked, was the guy that I showed earlier, was that the guy who played Hellboy? What's his name? Pearl Bateman? I mean, Ron Perlman? No, that's Patty Considine. Let's see here.
Pearl Bateman.
Look, that man, look, somewhere Ron Perlman is mad. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only questionable thing that Rhaenyra and Daemon do is incest. But that's a well-documented facet of Targaryen lineage. So that's one of those things I'm like, I don't care. And that's also a part of real history. Like, royals used to fuck each other. That was just a thing they did. Is what they did. Sorry, but I'm not willing, because I think the one questionable thing Rhaenyra has ever done turned out to not even be questionable. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but like, there's a character who gets killed off, and everybody's like, oh man, fuck that bitch. But like, when you actually realize what's going on, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Have y'all heard the rumor that Emilia Clarke is going to be playing Abigail Brand in Secret Invasion? Yes, I have. It was technically spoiled by a GIF. I don't know if that came from an actual, like, from the actual Marvel account, but I know it came from somebody else posting it. So I don't know. I mean, it's probably true, because it's been long rumored she's playing Abigail Brand, but I don't know. I feel like it would hold more weight if she had green hair. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Let's see. What would the X-Men be if Professor X was black? Probably underfunded, and the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters wouldn't exist because it would have been burned down. If we're being real. It would probably be more black and brown mutants on the team, too. Probably.
It would be a Votech.
It would be a Votech college. You ain't shit. Let's see here. Let's see. Where's a... Yeah, John Buzz says, so is Magic the Gathering starring Marvel? Yeah, pretty much. Talking about Marvel Snap. So, yeah, basically, it's a little bit of Hearthstone, a little bit of Magic the Gathering. The cards have certain effects that when you play them, certain things happen. Yeah, that's actually, honestly, probably the best way I've heard it described. So, yeah, because the cards do have to be tapped. Not physically, but like once you play a card, they then get revealed, which is technically the tap. So yeah, it's actually kind of the same thing. Your opponent doesn't see what you play until all cards are revealed. So yeah, and I think it's 6 rounds. 6 rounds, and one of the cards they got in the past is a Blue Marvel, and I'm trying real hard to get it.
Why does this Galactus look like somebody's child? Look like Scotty Young.
Oh,
it won't load.
Oh, I saw it.
No, the image blur blurred it out.
Oh,
I guess Discord just don't want me to show Galactus. All right.
Oh well, I was gonna say if you wanted to show it, all you had to do is say the word, pimp. I got it right here. But no, it's what Carter's talking about is the version of Galactus that they show in a lot of the promotional materials is that one. Yeah. But to be fair, they show a lot of different versions of characters, so it's not to say actual Galactus isn't there, but that's the one that shows up in a lot of the promo stuff, which I actually think is kind of funny.
Fake ass Scotty Young looking art, looking like Boss Baby. Why they do Galactus like this, bro?
Yeah, they did. Let's see here. I see someone asked me, what about Judgment Day? I think this is in regards to my statement earlier about my favorite crossovers. Judgment Day is up there. I really enjoyed it. More than most crossovers. But, it technically isn't finished yet. We still got that Omega issue coming, so I can't really say 100%. Jay Kino with the 29 months says, bro, I hated working at GameStop. Sorry I'm late. No, you all good, pimp.
You were a manager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
What?
You got you the one that got to go to like Vegas and get the free systems and the free games. I wasn't even an SGA. I was a regular GA. You got all the good stuff, you prick.
Oh, yeah, you know. I got a free Vita out of it. I was in at a weird time. I was a manager at a weird time where I wasn't around for the manager stuff.
Never got to go to the conferences?
Nope.
Oh.
I was a manager in between the times, but I did get the free PS Vita. I was an assistant manager when they did that. So I didn't get the free PlayStation, which it didn't matter. I already had one. And I know most of the managers just traded that shit back in for cash. Talali House with the $10 says, just want to say how much I love Namor's actor's name. Tenoch Huerta says Tenoch equals Aztec for cactus and Huerta equals Spanish for farm. Says cactus farm. That's actually fun. Farm of cacti. I did not know. Which is funny because you think that would make him a prickly person, but he's actually kind of affable. He's actually really cool and laid back, which I think is hilarious. Let's see here what else we got. I'm looking. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say right here. I don't see anything else. Oh, wait, here it is. Do y'all have any opinions on Tales of the Jedi? I actually don't, but I'm going to be watching it later tonight. It says, I'm an Ahsoka diehard, and I'm hoping they leave enough story for her live-action series. Yeah, I heard there was some stuff thrown in there. I don't know where that's going, but I'm going to watch it later tonight and see what's up. I'm very curious about it. I was very curious. I love Star Wars, so I mean, I figure I'll like this. JD says, do you consider that we are still in the Destiny of X, even as we approach Sins of Sinister? When DOX started, Solicitous pointed to alternate realities. How do you think DOX transitions to Fall of X? I think Sins of Sinister will likely be the end of Destiny of X. And I think that is kind of where it's all playing in. I think the Destinies of X is in reference to all the different realities we are going to see. I feel like what's going to end up happening here is that Sinister is going to be on that wild bullshit, creating realities that are kind of like the... what's the best way to put this? I think this is going to be the X-Men's version of Secret Wars 2015. I think it's going to be their version of... Not saying in quality, just in terms of scope. I think this is going to be their version of Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, where there's going to be all this crazy reality shit just converging on top of one another, and maybe reality as we know it has been changed, a la Age of Apocalypse, and people are fighting to put things back the way they were. And then when we get out of that Sins of Sinister chicanery, I think that's when we're going to wind up, learning some pretty crazy shit about what is going to end up going on with not House of X, but Fall of X. Very likely that some key players will either... Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some major changes to the Quiet Council. I can see Charles not even being in that mofo. Or if he is, him having a completely jacked up attitude is what Magneto warned him about. Or Magneto warned Storm about. Let's see, Jonathan Moda with the $20 super chat says, I worked at Toys R Us, Times Square in the R Zone. Is it Minnie hated it? I loved it. Met my wife there and lifelong friends. See, that's the thing. A lot of the people I knew at GameStop, I'm still cool with. For the most part. And honestly, I didn't hate okay, you know what it was? I didn't hate the people I worked with entirely. I hated my bosses. And more specifically, my boss's bosses. Because I knew they were being forced to do things that were shitty because the regionals and districts were making them do it. That's what I hated about GameStop. I think I would have liked Toys R Us, I think, personally.
Again,
I'm a kid at heart.
You were management. Carmen was your boss, right? Plus,
yes.
You were in a nice area though. You were at Wolf Chase. I was in the ghetto. I was in American.
Oh
Way.
yeah, no, you had no. Everything was fine until the Wolf Chase Mall store got robbed, and that is when Carmen got kind of ugly with me. But then when she realized I wasn't the reason behind it, she started being nicer to me. But she still didn't really like me because I wasn't bought in. I wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid, as she always said. Let's see here. We got one more. It says 10 minutes, Ernie. So I was right. You know what? You are wrong because you know what? We are leaving right now. That said, that's the last question. We getting the fuck out of here anyway. So that said, Carter has no announcements. I have no announcements. And I will say, for Earth's mightiest subscribers, for Blerd, Koa, for everybody here in the chat right now, whether you those who liked the video, those who chatted, those who were lurking, everybody who super chatted, everybody who got memberships, even if you didn't get a membership, thank you all so much. For Carter Presents, I'm the Blerd Without Fear. And David Zaslav and Ezra Miller, you're off the hook this week. But I will say this. To all the people out there spreading false news and false rhetoric, you can go to hell.
Bye.